Hey, buddy.
What's going on, man?
We're live.
I see that.
It's Saturday night.
And you hit record ahead of time.
No.
All that jazz.
It's fucking crazy. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. It's been a long fucking...
How has your week been?
It's been stupid. This is how the fuck my week's been. I don't even want to goddamn talk about my week. I'm tired and I'm mad. I've been shitting my balls off for the last fucking 6 hours.
Well, it's probably all that 10 tequila you drank last Saturday night.
It might be. It might be. Dude, that shit fucked me up.
Yeah, well.
Bad.
It was not great.
I don't know how, but I guess I feel like it was one of those evenings like you had a few weeks prior where I just didn't realize.
A few weeks prior?
I mean, a few months. Whenever the last time was when you got super shit
like
laced.
July or August, but yeah.
It wasn't July or August.
Yes, it was. This is when Gabe and Parker were on.
Oh, shit.
It was episode 50.
Oh, goddamn. It's been a while. Fuck. I don't remember shit.
33 weeks ago.
Yep.
So, real quick before we get into our grab bag tonight.
Housekeeping.
So next week, I've never seen this before.
What are we drinking next week? If this is Tennessee level, dude, I'm fucking, I'm quitting.
This is Dr. James Crow's Old Crow,
almost picked
original sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
That's just shit bourbon.
Yeah, I never had it, but
plastic bottle?
I saw it. Yep, plastic traveler.
As it should be.
And that's it. So that's what we'll have next week.
Okay, and we have a pretty sweet guest next week, actually.
As of right now, yes.
Yeah,
he is on. It's,
which I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's Peter DeSalvo.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of his name. I think it's the Mad Dog. He's the Knoxville Ice Bears goalie. He recently got his 100th win in the SPHL. So
I'm pretty excited about having him on, actually.
Yeah, he's not going to be drinking. Are you going to wear your jersey?
No, I'm going to ask him his opinions on custom jerseys.
Okay.
I want to know his opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. For a minor league hockey team.
Yeah, sure. For a minor league hockey team.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what he has to say.
Yeah. You know, they make, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to say anything. Yeah, but right. You know, he makes, or I should say he, I don't know what he makes, but like SPHL, they don't make shit money.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they don't make great money.
Do they have to have a second job?
No.
Really? Interesting.
Now, I don't know if they just get paid that during the season or if that's year round. Like, I don't know, but they make more than minor league players.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me preface that by saying I don't know. I know that's minor league hockey.
Okay.
Now there's different levels.
Hold that thought. Let's get to the housekeeping first.
Okay. Sorry.
So, two brothers podcasts with and the Trevor Jackson podcast.
We need to have music for friends of the show.
We do, don't we?
Friends of the show.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know what's on there.
Don't anymore. Push my buttons, bitch.
CQ. Michael Carasquillo, however you pronounce it.
Carasquillo.
Yeah. So, Pop Culture Warrior, Tuesday nights, Facebook Live.
Yep.
Andy Harris at the Andy Harris on Twitter.
Yep.
2020 Guest of the Year.
Tweet at him and tell him that you will not advocate for his blue check mark unless he shows you his trophy.
Well, not just that, but tell him you want us to officiate his wedding as well.
Sure. I might be officiating a wedding in July.
I know you will. I don't care. Sticks and Stones podcast.
Why are we talking about them?
Listen to them if their audio is.
They're not a friend of the show.
Yeah, you're right.
They were a guest, not friends of the show. I'm only promoting people that are friends of the show.
Well, whatever. Let's see here. Saints and Sailors Barbershop in Knoxville.
Yep.
Kristen at Gambooz's if you don't want to travel downtown.
Which Don took. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Continue.
We have stickers and we have shirts. I'm not grabbing the shirt. And Anchor's Hair Co.
Yep.
Hair products. That's all that I can think of right now.
That was all.
Drink About It podcast, but fuck those guys because we're not on with them yet.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, just because they come on the show does not make them friends of the show.
Yeah. Hunter Edwards. Hold on a minute. What is his name on Twitter now? I can't remember. It used to be Lost Forwards.
Right.
But I don't know what it is now. But he has Don't Tell My Mom podcast. We've yet to be asked to be guests on that podcast, and he's been on ours twice and called in a couple of times. Yeah. So harass the shit out of Hunter everywhere.
Usually very insulting things is what we'd prefer. Not just harass him, but like needlessly say hurtful things.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
All right. So tonight, so I went through with our Instagram the other day, and I unfollowed basically all the personal pages of people we followed. Like if it's not a podcast or a business, I even took out all of our family members, like everybody. Oh, yeah? I cleaned fucking house.
So what if our family member is someone that we reference from time to time as far as with legal questions?
Why do we? I don't think I took her off.
I don't remember if we were following her or not.
No, but regardless, like, because I wanted our numbers to be, we need to be following more people than are following us. So, and why should we follow people back? We're a goddamn like business page, more or less. So we have no obligation to follow anyone back. So I'm saying, fuck the personal pages. If you have a podcast page, you know, or a business or a whiskey or some shit, sure.
Follow us and we'll follow you back.
No, we will fucking not.
Why would we not follow a podcast?
Oh yeah,
page?
podcast.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
If you're a podcast page or a product that,
but if you're not, you can follow us if you're a fan.
Yeah, we're not going to follow you back. Right.
All right. Yeah. So tonight
Unless you bring something to the table,
and then we still probably won't. I left Gabe on there because he does our cameras. He's part of the show at this
producer.
Point. Yeah. So we're doing the grab bag tonight. I've got 6, so 3 each. And
I know you pushed down on me. You're supposed to get 8.
I didn't remember. Okay. So this is a themed grab bag. Okay. Yes, it is. So reach your arm in there, get it deep.
Get it deep.
See what you got, baby.
Did you do what you said you should do?
No, I didn't do what I said I should do.
Veal whipped cream flavored vodka. All right, I'm Veal.
Oh
yeah,
God
Veal.
damn it! I got the chocolate flavored vodka.
You want to swap?
It's all flavored vodka.
Whipped cream. You want to swap?
No.
Okay. I wasn't going to. If you just said yeah, I'm like, tough.
Yeah. It's a special themed
whipped cream. I mean,
what's the theme?
I'm not going to like it. But I don't know.
Okay.
Russian.
It bothers me.
Is it Scrubs?
Completely clear and flavored? No, it's not Scrubs.
Well, I figured vanilla, chocolate.
Oh, it smells like chocolate.
That should. Smells like whipped cream. Cheers.
Cheers.
That ain't great, but it is not as bad as it could be.
Neither is that. Try this. Try the chocolate.
Try the whipped cream.
Ooh. Yours is so much sweeter than mine.
Yeah, I don't care for yours as much. And the thing is, like, I don't really care for like hot chocolate or chocolate milk and things like that.
God, that is so fucking sweet, though.
It is very sweet. But it could be way worse. It could. I mean, I could have pulled out a bottle of Ouzo.
They didn't have any small bottles. They had limoncello.
That wouldn't have been bad. Limoncello wasn't bad. It's just very
I was
sweet.
hoping so bad they had Ouzo. I was going to do a full grab bag of nothing but different.
When I went and picked up next week's stuff, I walked by like a shelf of just tons of different Ouzo, and I was like, fuck this aisle. I didn't even walk down this aisle.
Dude, so what I was saying is
Don.
Yep. So I did our Instagram clean out, and he immediately messages me. It's like, what the fuck?
How did he know that we unfollowed? Can you set up?
No. He has an analytics app that he uses for the barbershop. And he has it tied to his personal one too. So if you're out there and you're following Don and you unfollow him, just know he will fucking know and he will fucking call you out.
That's funny. I'm gonna just go unfollow him.
He was like,
gonna go back and forth.
Yeah, he was like, dude, I've been on your show more than anybody. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, I said, we still follow Saints. Like, doesn't matter. So anyway, but like I woke up to a text that says, well, fine. Like a little bitch.
So SPHL, you were saying something.
Oh, I said, I don't know if that applies because I know there's different, like with major or minor league baseball, you get double A, triple A, whatever. So I don't know where the SPHL ranks amongst those and the tiers. I just looked at minor league hockey salaries, and in general, they do okay.
Enough that they don't have to have another job, or they need another job as well,
depending on their lifestyle.
Would you have to have another job
at this point in my life? Yes.
Okay. All right.
But playing hockey in my 20s, fuck no.
Yeah, I get you.
Fuck no. Yeah. Enough to throw down some dollar bills.
Oh yeah.
And finger blast some honeys.
Oh yeah, some honeys. Good Lord. So,
my God damn it.
Go ahead.
So what about old Joe Biden bombing Syria?
Yeah, I haven't really read into that.
I don't care. I just think it's funny.
It is funny to me. I mean, is anyone giving him shit about it yet?
I'm sure.
Being a warmonger?
No, my immediate thought was throwback to Obama, yo.
Yeah,
like being the throwback joke. Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting. I heard someone that was at least affiliated a little bit with Saturday Night Live say, "That's funny. You did this to yourself." Say that Saturday Night Live, basically in the writers' room of Saturday Night Live, it's like no Biden jokes.
Yeah,
he's not done anything funny, not anything for us to make fun of him for yet. So it's quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, It's not interesting. It's how it is.
It's not interesting in the sense you're like, I'm interested in that.
It's not interesting. Haha, it's interesting. Gay.
No,
as the same
interesting.
Gay
things that make
happy.
you go, Gay isn't happy.
Yes,
it's not interesting. Doesn't make you happy.
Okay.
Speaking of gay, and I don't have it on my. Yes, I don't have it on my computer because I was going to try to. You know what? Remind me after the break. I'll put it on this computer.
Okay.
And we can put it on the screen.
Are we going to get a copyright flag?
No, I don't think so. It's an old commercial. It's an anti-smoking commercial.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah. So we'll go about that later.
Okay. I think that's. I love anti-smoking commercials. They're all
funded, I'm going to make a little note.
Funded by tobacco companies.
Right. So anyway, it's not truth though, because truth, I fucking hate truth.
Right.
So anyway,
I miss smoking ads. I miss seeing them in magazines.
Are they not in magazines? I thought they were still in magazines.
Maybe they are. I don't remember.
I know it can't be anywhere else.
They're not.
Sure.
Not like they used to be.
Right.
Marlboro Man, Joe Cool, fucking badass camel.
Yeah, he like to bang the chicks with a Marlboro Man, the Eiffel Tower, that shit.
Absolutely. That's how menthols get made.
Right. So you said you had a bad week. What's wrong with your week?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it. No, my kid got in a wreck.
Yeah.
Which is, that happens. He's 17. It was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah.
Nothing major. No,
sure.
No, it's just dealing with the shit. And then he got in trouble, some shit too. Got grounded,
that sucks.
Which he's good. It was about time. He was due. He's been pretty for 17 having no major issues. I feel like it's kind of a win. Like even attitude wise, like he's never smarted off. He doesn't do any of that shit.
Really?
Yeah. So I didn't mind the smackdown on this guy. But I'm waiting on because Jude's going to be the one that's going to be in a constant state of punishment of some kind. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's strange. I mean, you've never had any issues out of a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I'd say you're parenting wrong.
Really?
No,
I just meant behavioral issues, sneaking out, getting caught lying.
Sure.
Attitude, mouthing off, none of that shit.
Maybe you are parenting wrong and you're not catching him with that stuff. Maybe is he that good or are you guys that bad that you don't catch it?
Combination, maybe?
Yeah, could be.
Well, no, it's never to our face. And like
sure.
how he is in his room and shit's fucking fine. I don't give a fuck.
I'm talking about like the sneaking out and shit like that.
Oh no, he doesn't sneak out. He's terrified of getting in trouble half the time. He does not like getting in trouble.
Like I was scared of getting in trouble when I grew up, but that didn't stop me and Will from sneaking out of our condos.
Yeah, but you also had friends and people to meet out. Like
no, I didn't do it in my regular day life. But like when we would go on vacation, Will and I would always pick the room closest to like access to the rest of like the resort or whatever.
Right.
And we would sneak out every night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but he's one of those kids like legitimately doesn't like to get in trouble and doesn't like to do shit. That, again, personal time in his room. I don't know what the fuck's going on down there. But as far as out and about and as far as our expectations for around the house, like he does his chores, he does the shit he's supposed to do, doesn't mouth off, never try to sneak out, like none of that shit.
What would you do if you found out he had an OnlyFans account where he was just like jerking it for old guys on the internet?
He'd be fucked.
Really?
Yeah, because he's 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way for you to get busted for that. It's online.
It's totally safe.
Everything online's fine.
Oh, it's as soon as you close that browser, it goes away.
Yeah. But I would say just VPN that shit and they can't find you anyway.
It absolutely fucking trips me out about shit.
Now, what would you do if you found that he had an OnlyFans account as far as where he was subscribing to people on OnlyFans?
Oh, it'd be different.
Because I think that would be harder to do than be a OnlyFans performer at 17.
No way. It'd be super easy to just subscribe to people on there and pay money.
I don't think so.
All you need is a debit card.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I subscribe to Hunter's OnlyFans. I know exactly how fucking easy it is.
It's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's like anything else. You sign up, you give them a fucking credit card.
We should start an OnlyFans and just do OnlyFans while we're doing this. Just to see what people say.
I just want to put the low camera down so you just get my taint and balls the whole time. And I'll just be stroking it under the table the whole fucking time. That's fine. We might actually make money with this podcast.
That's true. Especially since Anchor's not paying us anymore.
Oh my God.
So anyway, yeah. Your kid had a wreck. My kid didn't have a wreck recently, but she and someone else both tried to merge into the same lane. And so she went back to her lane and overcorrected and caught a curb with the tire, blew the tire. It was a minimal amount of damage to the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to pay for the tire, obviously, which tires are fucking expensive now. It was $290 for a tire.
Yeah, it's stupid.
But
we also drive them fancy schmancy fucking cars.
I wouldn't call it fancy schmancy. My wife does. I don't.
Compared to the average girl her age, she's driving a fancy fucking car.
I disagree with that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because she has a baseline, one step above baseline vehicle of a very inexpensive car.
A very inexpensive car?
Yeah, it's like under 20 grand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To get a dish.
It's very little that I can say without giving away this information.
No, but
so she's one step above. Maybe it's a no. She didn't drive an SUV. She used to drive an SUV.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
No. She's in a car, but her first car was around 21 grand.
Right. Okay.
It was convertible.
But that SUV was not.
It was the base model of that SUV, but it was mid 20s maybe.
Yeah.
But she's got plenty of friends that are driving $30,000 and $40,000 cars.
That's because they have shitty parents. That's fucking.
I agree with that. Yeah. Yes. Her first car was not one of the vehicles.
No.
Her first car was a 2012 Nissan Sentra that we gave to her.
Hey, that 2006.
Oh yeah.
Rolling in.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
which is broken right now. I have to fix it.
That sucks.
Yeah. That was my own fault.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say it was my own fault. It was stupid, but I was showing him how to change the serpentine belt. And it's got the outer power steering, water pump belt, and then the one behind it. Anyway, so you got the bracket that comes off the back, and it's got the tensioning. You loosen whatever, and there's a bolt on the back here that is usually tight, but you can still move it manually.
Yeah,
it was corroded, so when I went to tighten back in, it bent that fucking mounting bracket. I mean, it's a $50 part, and it's just a pain in the ass to fix it.
Right?
Yeah. Well, so
that sucks.
Made me look like I really knew what I was doing. Changing that shit.
Jesus. Oh God, I was fixing to say I almost got a video of my neighbor across the street, and they're old.
Better.
So my neighbor directly across the street has this dog that he lets out, never is on a leash, and that dog barks at, runs after everybody and everything. Now, the dog doesn't attack anything, but if you have another dog that's skittish or whatever, and that dog comes running up, and who knows what that dog's
capable of.
Well, it's not just that, but like however your dog's reaction could knock you down. There's a lot of old people in our neighborhood. Right. She and this woman walks two dogs every day, and that man, I don't know why the two of them don't just try to time it on opposite times, but they run into each other every day, and I'm not home anymore to see it when it happens.
Yep.
And my daughter and wife have told me that they stand out at the corner of the street right across from where you're parking and throwing up the other night.
Yeah.
And yell at each other, just scream and yell at each other, because she's yelling at him, your dog's not on a leash, and he's yelling at her about whatever, your fucking old cunt. I don't know. Right. But I can't ever get it on video.
Yeah.
To bring.
I feel like she has more of a good point than he does, though.
I absolutely
not
agree.
having a dog on a leash, like any other argument you may have at that point, has been fucking invalidated.
Yeah, and he's in his yard, the dog's in his yard, and till somebody walks up and the dog comes out of the yard. It's like, fence your yard in or put your dog on a fucking leash. One or the other.
Would you kick his dog?
Yeah, if it came up and if it was jumping on or trying to jump on me or one of my dogs, something like that, absolutely I would. If it was just standing there 2 feet away barking, my first thing I'm going to do is like lunge at it. Really quick,
to hope to get it to jump at you so you can kick it.
Yes. Actually, I may carry my small caliber pistol out there.
Oh, yeah.
One between the eyes.
That would be fucking hilarious.
It would be insane. If that dog jumped at me and I put one between the eyes, there's not a court in this state. I'm not going to say in this land. There's not a court in this state, in the God bless southeast of America, that's going to convict me for that.
No,
it's out of his yard and it jumps at me.
But hold on.
Pow.
But unless you had a carry permit, which I don't know if you do or not.
Gotcha.
But if you don't have a carry permit and it's not in your yard, then you can.
I got you.
Stand on. Yeah. Which I need to get my carry permit. I don't know why the fuck I haven't. Not because I want to carry.
It's much less expensive now. There's two different versions of it now. There's a concealed carry and open carry. And concealed carry is cheaper.
And there's a both.
Sure. Well, the open carry is both.
Yeah.
But the concealed carry.
Yeah, but for me, I didn't realize
concealed.
I was looking into it the other day because I have no desire to carry. I just like being able to do what I fucking want to do.
Right.
And I don't have to do any of the shooting quals, anything.
Nobody does anymore in Tennessee for the concealed carry.
Yeah, for the open carry, you do though.
Yes, for the open carry, you don't have to do anything. So you can carry a handgun with mental retardation.
Yes.
Can you? I would assume you wouldn't be able to.
No, that's not that stringent to get the shit. Like I could and that shows what's kind of fucked up with any type of gun situation in America, because all I have to do is pay and do the online class because of my military background and because I've qualified in small arms training and shit. I don't have to do any of the other stuff. I just basically pay $40 and say, give me my fucking license. I can carry a gun.
You shouldn't have to pay anything. I mean, the right to bear arms is God given.
That's why I wear a tank top all summer. God damn it. Right. I saw a fucking comic once, and it might have been a Far Side, but it said the right to bear arms. Fucking anyway, stupid, but maybe
the Far Side stuff was underrated. It's very good.
Gary Larson, was that the?
I think so.
Yeah,
but anyway,
irregardless.
Yeah, irregardless.
So we did a podcast interview.
We did
one before this episode, actually, with you got more of the details on the dude than I do.
Completely blanking on the guy's
but
name.
He's a pretty good idea. His podcast centers around interviewing other podcasts, right? New and up and coming ones, mostly like new podcasts. But I thought that was a pretty cool idea. It was a cool guy to talk to. I didn't feel the need to be an asshole to him, so that was nice. And that's one thing I feel like that we've done a pretty decent job of, though, not with this guy particular, but just we haven't had any guests on that have just been fucking total cockbags yet.
No, we have Hunter.
Hunter, but I mean, nobody that's just been really difficult to talk to and just kind of an ass. Like we've gotten along with everybody pretty well, I think. And I'm not saying
so your assumption is wrong, or it's being hidden very well.
No, hidden, but continue.
I don't think it is. I think it's the other.
Okay.
No, anyway, so his name's James Loren, Loren. I don't know what the name of his podcast is. I don't know that I've ever seen the name of his podcast, but we may have him on at some point. And we will be on his at some point. Don't know when it's going to be because he's got to edit and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure he'll have to. He's got to mark it explicit, and then maybe he'll censor it.
We need to have her on again.
I don't think she's not. You know what? I think she's got a book coming out.
Oh,
we should
fucking promotion, baby.
Maybe have her on. That would be interesting,
dude. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, no, interesting.
It would be absolutely, yeah.
It would probably be, for anyone else listening, it would be probably one of our worst episodes, but we would have so much fun.
That's the thing. Like some of our friends that listen, Nick, Shay, some of them might actually enjoy that.
Maybe
some people might enjoy it. So
we would.
Speaking of people enjoying
things,
yes. Speaking of people enjoying our podcast is what I'm talking about.
Okay. So it should be almost everyone that listens to
should be. But my wife and I went to dinner Monday night with my sister who was in town. They went to go have a home inspection. They have they're under contract for a house. They're moving in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me, my wife, my sister Jessica, who's been on here before, and then she has a friend. And I'm not gonna say her friend's name because she's a family attorney in Knoxville, evidently a pretty popular one.
Oh, can she come on?
I'll have Jessica get her in touch with me and find out if she would be interested in that.
The way I look at it is the more lawyers we have on, the more free legal advice we get, because that's expensive.
True. Yes, it's very expensive. And I mean, you of all people could use some free legal
Jesus
advice.
Christ, I could.
I mean, especially family law.
Oh my God.
So we're talking about podcasts or what? We were talking about something. They were talking about a podcast, and I asked about it, and then my sister asked me something, and her friend. Trying to think of something to call her before I accidentally say her name, but
let's call her John Smith.
Yes, call her John Smith. So John says, what are you talking about? And my sister goes, oh, he does a podcast with a friend of his. And she looked at me for just a moment like I was a rock star.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that for the life of me, but
I don't either.
She just looked for a moment and said, oh, you do a podcast? Said, yes, I do. So what's it called? I tell her the name of it. And then she says, what's it about? I said, nothing at all. It's the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Yeah.
And she said, how's it about nothing? I said, it's just whatever. It's just me and a guy I've known for a little while. We talk. And I didn't say that. So I said, we just talk about whatever. We have some guests on or whatever. And it's like, we had a flat earth guy on there. And that's when she looked at me with that face like, oh, okay. And I said, I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah.
But we enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah.
And then she said, like, well, what did he have to say? And I said, this and that and this and that. And she started looking up, trying to fact check me as if I was the one spouting these things. She's like, I'm going to call bullshit on that. She starts looking it up. She's like, well, so there's this and this talking about Antarctica. So there's this and this and this. I said, yeah, you can't go. You can't just get in a private plane and fly to Antarctica.
Playing the game.
I did. I started playing the game. I said, you can't get in if you own a plane, you can't get in that plane and fly to Antarctica and just land wherever you want that is safe for you to land your plane and just start exploring. Yeah. You can't. She said, yes, you can. I said, no, you can't. Yeah. There's however many countries that have come to this agreement where that is off limits for you. It's got to be a government sanctioned thing. And when I say sanctioned, I said to her, I said, I don't mean that you're going there to do science type shit. I'm just saying the government has to okay you to go there. Right. To just roam. I said, you can't. And this is why I said, to me, that's an interesting fact, because why does the government need to hide Antarctica from anyone?
And Nazis?
Could be. Yep. Could be. I said, I don't care. I said, I don't believe that the earth is flat. But I said, but if it is, I don't give a shit anyway. Right. But I said, there's this ice wall. And I said, and I'm just telling you what they say, this ice wall around and blah, blah, blah. And I go through the whole spiel. And she's like, this is just ridiculous. And my sister goes, John, don't worry. You wouldn't like his podcast anyway. It's not for you. And I said, no, she's absolutely right. We're not for you. You would hate it if you listened to it. She said, they say things like for shock value or whatever. I said, nah, we really don't say things for shock value. Yeah. We say things that may be shocking to people, but it ain't for shock value. Yeah. I said, most of the stuff we say on there, we say in general conversation when there's no mic turned on. Right. So,
like, I feel like sometimes on here, like, because we know how to get each other riled up, like we'll push and we get a little over the top maybe, but we're never like just completely saying shit for shock value.
Sure.
Like,
I agree.
One of the things that, and it pisses me off, but it's fun at the same time when we get any type of argument or debate, because when I start getting tongue tied and brain starts scrambling and you just keep pushing that shit, like I talk over myself, I backtrack, I'm still trying to say the same thing, but I get so fucked up and so like riled up over it, and you just keep on fucking pushing that button like a cock.
But it's not that I keep pushing the button. I stick to what I have to say about it. So I don't, whatever.
And the thing is, though,
I know it bothers you.
I know.
I don't do it because of that. I continue to do it because of that.
That's what I'm saying. And it's one of those things too, like I'm not, in my mind, I'm not changing what I'm saying. I'm just trying to find a better way to say it. And it ends up, I just fuck it all to shit.
I got you.
Yeah. Like it's still like the whole fucking truth and fact thing still bothers the shit out of me. Like I thought about that at least once a day since that episode.
Truth and fact. I don't know. I don't want to get back in because I have another hour and a half.
I know. I did look it up though, and like I found what I was trying to say written, and it made way more sense.
You found what you're trying to say in something that someone else was saying.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You didn't come up with it on your own.
No.
Found it on your own.
Yes.
I'm going to say the gayest thing I've ever said to you before. Will you hand me my vaporizer right now?
That's not the gayest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, it's the gayest thing I've ever said to you on air. So anyway, thank you very much. Oh God, I can't wait to show you that smoking commercial.
Yeah,
I can't believe I didn't put it on this computer yet.
It's ridiculous.
I have to try to do it later.
Fucking unacceptable.
So we do have some questions.
Yep.
From people we wanted to go over tonight. Yep. Unless there's something you wanted to add to the conversation.
No, I actually had some plans to pull some shit together for tonight, and I just never got to it. It was a stupid week. We're working from home this week or next 2 weeks till March 6th. We had somebody in our office, not my office. There's 2 buildings, but they treat them like one building. One of the people in the other buildings got a positive COVID test. And so then they've shut down everything for 2 fucking weeks. But, so that's fucking sucked because I have a hard time, like with this job more than others that I've had. Like I have a hard time turning it off. Like usually when I'm done with work, I fucking walk the fuck home. Don't even think about it.
Right.
But I don't with this job for some fucking reason. And working from home makes it worse because after I'm clocked out, I still feel this fucking like static to check shit and to still be on top of it, whatever. I don't know. But it's also, I'm used to being salaried, and not being salaried is a hard transition for me on this because like I'm not going to get paid if I get on and I send some emails for 10 or 15 minutes. It's stupid to clock in for every little, thing like that. And so I don't know. So it's hard for me sometimes to find that line between when I should be clocking in and when I'm just passively doing shit, and it drives me fucking crazy.
I get it.
Anyway.
Sorry, I'm turn that down for a second.
Yep. So we got some questions.
Yeah. So we have some questions for us to answer, and some of them are long kind of questions or whatever, but Trying to get it to.
Of course they are.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get it to load on here so I don't have to squint at my phone. Any one person watching, if you have a particular question about anything at all or something you need solved, please
advice.
The advice, the phone number scrolling across the bottom of the screen.
It doesn't fucking matter.
You can comment, but I'd much rather you call in. But
regardless, we're here for you. We want to help you solve
right.
your life problems, your quandaries, the riddles that you face as you experience this world that we're in.
All right, so let's get this to. I guess I'm just gonna have to do it here. There it goes.
Oh, thank God!
As soon as I get my phone at it, it does it. So, questions. Here we go.
Okay.
There's this runs the gamut of types of questions here. So, yeah. Anyway,
are these multiple questions in one letter?
It's multiple people. Multiple people have asked multiple, one person with one question. Okay. We can answer that, and then the next person has another question or whatever. So, first one has to do with accommodations for someone at work. So,
okay.
Again, regardless. So,
read the goddamn question.
This is a long one. It's a long one, so you're going to shut the fuck up.
Why is it a long one?
Because
why?
There's background on it.
I don't want background.
You're going to get it.
God damn it.
You want me to read the questions? You're going to get it.
Sure.
So, I am one of 2 people in my department at work. The other person on my team has ADHD and also suffers from anxiety and depression. Due to these challenges, our office does its best to provide reasonable accommodations per the guidelines of the ADA.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is the version of reasonable means expecting me to do all of his work as well as my own most of the time. At this point, people from other departments as well as our higher-ups copy both of us on every email, knowing that he will most likely never respond and that I will complete whatever tasks need doing. It was already the case that I did 2/3 of the work before COVID, but over the course of the pandemic, that has gotten closer to 90%. I'm now working up to 75 hours a week, including late nights and weekends. Any attempts at talking with him or my higher-ups about more evenly distributing the work have gone nowhere. And when I tried talking to my HR department, they reiterated the ADA guidelines and reminded me that the company has a zero tolerance policy for ableism. I don't know how much longer I can handle this. I have nightmares about work and break down in tears at least once a week. I wish I could just quit my job, but I'm the primary breadwinner of my household as my husband's job is currently on furlough. Is there anything I can do? There you go.
That wasn't that long.
Pretty fucking long.
Yeah.
It's 3 paragraphs.
Well, you have several options.
I just read good.
Yeah, you do read good. Better than me. When you're reading aloud.
Right.
So my first advice was start looking for a different job. If you've already expressed your concern and your management, there's nothing you can do. You can't control management and shit like that. So you have 2 options. One, you start looking for another job. You find a better offer, you get the fuck out.
Yeah.
So you can quit your job.
Sure.
Husband is furloughed. I wonder what the fuck he does anyway.
I don't know.
Or tell your husband to start looking for another goddamn job if you're about to murder somebody. Would he rather work at a different job or have a wife in prison for murder? But the other option is honestly you get legal counsel. You're
sure you go see a lawyer.
Yeah, because your company usually has an EAP program where they give you free access to lawyers, and it's completely aside from everything you're doing at work. You talk to a lawyer and see if you have any fucking recourse, as long as it's free. And if you do, then fucking file that lawsuit, bitch. It's not a fucking complicated situation.
Do you think that she go to HR and say, I've discussed this with a lawyer and this is what they say, and if we can't come to some form of agreement, I will file a lawsuit? Do you think you just file the lawsuit?
I think you give the employer a chance. The lawyer would direct you which way to go. I mean, that's what the fucking lawyer's for. And if they'll take your case, then yeah, if the lawyer says, hey, yeah, give them some preemptive shit, sure. If they're like, nah, let's just fucking swing, then you fucking swing.
Yeah.
They know better than you do. And those are your options. You either shut the fuck up and deal with it and find another job, or you lawyer. And the lawyer might tell you, sorry, nothing you can fucking do. Either fucking shut the fuck up or get another job.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I doubt that's the case, that there's nothing you can do, but
now the other option is, and I would recommend confronting this motherfucker. Don't do it at work. Invite them out for a drink. Hey, we should get together after work sometimes. And then when you get them, be like, listen, bitch, I'm tired of doing 90% of your goddamn work. You pick up your shit or I'm fucking breaking you, bitch. And then you act like it never goddamn happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because would you just go into work the next day, and if he says something to someone about you, be like,
"What are you talking about?
I didn't go. Do you know what I've said before? Do you think I would invite this person out for a drink?"
Right. Well, even if you didn't do that, because they could prove that you were out for a drink with somebody, but they can't prove what the fuck you said to them.
That's true.
If there's unless there's, it's captured or they're recording you, some shit like that. But still, I would take that risk. Like, I like the confrontation enough. Some people don't, but I would be more than happy to corner this motherfucker and be like, "Listen, bitch. I know what the fuck you're doing.
You can't do it at work." Again, which you said that already. You absolutely can't do it at work.
You could.
Yeah, but there are absolute, that's grounds for termination. Doing it outside of work is not.
If you're going to go out swinging. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just saying, it just depends on the outcome that you want. You actually have a lot of fucking options in this situation.
Sure.
It just,
if you actually want to fix the problem, do you want to fix the problem or do you want to feel really good after you're over? That's the thing.
Exactly. Because I can tell you right now, like, she's put out enough at this point.
Yes.
She's not going to be happy with anything.
Maybe that's why her husband's furloughed. She's putting out too much.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, she's put out too much work and effort that at this point, no matter how much they'd redistribute that work, it's going to feel like she still has too much to do. That's how she's going to feel at this point. Because that's how
I think so as well. I think she's already burned
like
out
at this point. Yeah, she wants this person to have more work than her. Is basically what.
So what you do is talk to a lawyer and find another job. That way you can get another job and sue the shit out of them.
Right.
And then when it's your last, right before you're going to put your, Jesus Christ, Gabe's dog's here and she's running amok.
Because I can tell you right now, even if the job that you might get is making a little bit less money, if you're not working, I'm assuming she's salaried the way she's
probably, yes.
So if you have a job, you're making a little bit less, but you're only working 40 hours a week as opposed to 75, goddamn, take it.
Yeah, you're making more money per hour.
And your husband's furloughed. He can go fucking work part-time at McDonald's to pick up the extra fucking
DoorDash,
slack.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I have very little sympathy for shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that someone would do. The biggest thing that bothers me is someone using the ADA and things like that to not have to do shit. Like, fucking, if you can't do your job, that's fine. I get it. People have problems and issues. Fucking go home.
Right.
Like, go to a doctor and get them to sign off for you to be out on disability or whatever.
But it's the same result. She's still getting.
I understand
work,
that, but
and that's my point.
No, I understand that, but then they can hire someone else in there because you can't. Once someone presents that they have an issue, you can't fire them at that point.
No, you can't fire them for anything that could be related to that issue.
Sure, but the problem is that legally, if you fire them for anything, if you go, "Hey, you grabbed Sheila's ass the other day walking by," you're fired. At that point, the company has to prove that they didn't fire you for anything related to that. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to sue them. And that's it. And it kind of sucks because you could use that to your favor and screw a company over.
But it also depends. Like I said, for ADHD, you could get by with grabbing somebody's ass for sexual harassment. That's an easy proof.
Sure, I know. I'm just using that for examples. Like, the company still has
the burden
to
of proof is on
that.
them. No, I get that. But I'm just saying, you have options. It's in every situation ever. It's only as complicated as you're willing to make it. Really, like, you have options. You might not like the options. You might not want to take the options. Might not be willing to take the options.
Sure,
but there are always fucking options. Always.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's options.
Yeah.
I don't understand that when people say, I thought something popped up on there, like I quit recording, but it didn't. When people say, like, I don't have any, there's nothing I can do. Like, there's always something you can do.
You might not like it.
You might eat a bullet, but still.
You might not be willing to do it, but there's always something to do.
All right. Next question.
So basically, fucking quit complaining, fucking quit your job, or make your husband go fucking back to work.
Yeah.
Or
find another job, whatever. McDonald's is hiring everywhere. Chick-fil-A, they pay above minimum wage.
Yeah, right. Hey, old Sleepy Joe is going to get his $15 an hour standard.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, by the way, a $15 an hour minimum wage?
I feel like minimum wage should be higher. I feel like $15 an hour is ridiculous. You're not supposed to be comfortable with minimum wage.
Okay.
But if a minimum wage goes up, the price of things is going to go up because companies are having to pay more. Yeah, it's a cause and effect situation.
But one of the things I do find interesting for an argument for hiking it up is minimum wage hasn't changed with inflation. as opposed to has. And if it had been along the way, then there'd be a far less of a shock getting it to where it should be now. Because even equivalent of had it gone up, minimum wage still is right at where it would have been, a little bit less actually than had it adjusted with inflation. The issue most people have is the forcing to change to it now, as opposed to
sure. That's my thing is anytime you raise what a company has to pay,
right?
The company doesn't bite that, right? Doesn't bite off that. That goes to the consumer,
right? Well, it's funny to me though, because a company, if they're big enough, because it would suck for the mom and pop shops, whatever, but the biggest ones that fight it are like the fucking Walmarts, the ones that could pay their employees a lot more and not take a hit on that shit.
Sure.
I think it's funny, the dichotomy there. Like, I get, like, if you have a less than a certain amount of employees, whatever, like a local spot that's hiring fucking 4 people, you give them a little leeway on how much because you're going to bankrupt a place like that if you force them to pay $15 an hour.
Sure.
But somebody like, it's a massive employer like Walmart, they could absolutely afford to pay their employees much, much better than they do.
Personally, I think if you're not a publicly traded company, you should be able to set your own wage.
Yeah.
Because people will quit working for you if they can go make more money somewhere else. And then you're going to have to pay more.
Right.
It's a competitive thing. I mean,
and I think that's true to a point.
I think, especially in small cities and mom and pop places, you're going to have to, but most of the mom and pop places mostly is family or friends at work anyway. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just saying, if you own a business and you can set any wage you want and you're paying people less than this company down the road,
right?
Well, when they go to hire somebody, you're going to eventually lose employees to them or lose them to other jobs or whatever. Right. You're going to have to raise your pay.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to cut your sales price on the product or something. You're paying for it one way or the other.
Right.
So
one thing that does get me, like you said it a second ago, as far as it shouldn't be a comfortable wage. And I get not comfortable, but I understand livable. Like, and that's changed, like, because especially thinking.
Yeah, but livable has been, the definition of livable now has been so skewed by people. Like,
I understand
an iPhone, a brand new iPhone every year and a half to 2 years is not considered.
But I'm just saying, but at any stage of the game, sure, 20 to 25 grand is hard to live on by yourself.
Well, the thing about it is, like, fast food restaurants and most of those places where you're making minimum wage, it's really more meant to be for high school kids, unless that's a career path where you're trying to get to a.
But you also get
district.
But you also get people that are like, they were a lifetime housewife and their husband dies,
sure,
and so they're
absolutely.
just trying to.
That's just a minority of people.
I know, but still, but people like that, I mean, they can't live on that hardly. I mean, they can, but it's fucking hard.
I get that, but at that point, you should be pissing on your husband's grave because he set you up with a life insurance policy.
Yeah,
but I get it. There are absolutely outliers that fall into that. I get it, but. For me, I always go back to, that's where the church has failed this country.
Oh, for sure.
But I could tie a lot of shit back to the church.
Yeah. There's this. Have you seen? I don't want to get off this too much, but I've seen it surface so much more now. There's a couple podcasts. Amanda told me about one. I don't listen to them because I can't handle their fucking memes. But a big term now in the ex-Christians, like that we've come out of for the younger ones, is deconstruction. Have you heard this term thrown around much?
I saw it somewhere and I didn't look into it, and I only saw it once.
It's all the time. The people now, the church is trying to tell us that we're deconstructing wrong. You guys, how far into are your deconstruction? And all the, it's obvious what it sounds like. You're deconstructing your faith and deciding what they're on. I'm like, no, what it is, you got buyer's remorse for buying into all that shit at some point in time. And now you don't want to do about it. So you're bitter. And I get it. Like, we've been there. For sure. But to have a fucking catchphrase to it, and so you can all band together and be little bitches all at the same time, is fucking stupid. Get the fuck over it. Like, move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Sure.
But people treat these crises of faith or these emotional breakdowns as like these major ordeals. And they are in your own life, right? Like, if you're having this big emotional come apart, it sucks for you. It doesn't matter to everything else. It matters to you. It matters to your family, but fucking stupid. It's stupid. At some point, you'll either kill yourself or you'll get stronger and move on.
Well, if it matters to me, it should be important to everyone.
Right. That's where we are.
Yeah. It's like, this is my truth. I'm living my truth and you're living your fact.
This is what got us. God damn it, Joe. God damn it.
Oh, God. And this is staying off.
Fucking cunt ass this is,
bitch. Dude, that's from 2 weeks ago.
I don't. I don't care.
So this is still staying off topic for a moment, but a podcast, and you may or may not be interested. I don't know, but it's called the Apology call or apology line, something like that. And I think that the whole life of the podcast is only like 6 or 7 episodes, and it's done. But
grab bag, motherfucker.
That last one was rough, but pineapple. I'm fine with that.
It's a vodka grab bag.
Of course, I said that earlier.
Oh, God damn it!
Did you get coffee?
I got the caramel.
It's not bad. It doesn't smell bad.
Oh, that smells so sweet.
So now I have whipped cream pineapple.
You've gotten the better flavor so far.
Smell that.
I will say, I feel like the chocolate. Yeah,
I don't even want to taste that.
I feel like the chocolate was probably had to be better than the cream, though.
No, it really wasn't that bad.
It was so sweet.
It was very sweet, but the taste itself wasn't that bad.
Okay. You're not going to cheers me,
not bad.
you asshole. Fuck you.
So, the apology calls. Back in the 80s, I think, this guy posted flyers somewhere. I don't remember if it was New York, Chicago, or what. But he posted flyers or something like that somewhere. It was like, hey,
that's not terrible.
It's not bad. It's if you had mixed the whipped cream with that, you'd almost have pina colada.
If you like pina. Okay.
That's right.
Apology
anyway, he posted
80s.
these apology calls or something like that, regardless. He posted these flyers like, hey, if you want to apologize for something, call this number and you can anonymously apologize for whatever.
Which is amazing.
It is amazing. But he would record these calls, and I don't remember if he released them on the radio because I haven't been listening to it yet. I've heard about it, and I listened to the trailer.
Not to interrupt you, but the reason I think it's amazing, it's hilarious to me when people want to anonymously apologize. Like, that completely defeats the purpose of apologizing.
But some of the stuff would be like, it might be like a kid. Like I remember from the trailer, like there's one where a kid calls in and was like, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry, but I don't love you.
Right.
And that was it. But anyway, eventually
have some fucking balls, kid.
Eventually somebody calls in and apologizes for committing a murder.
Right.
And it's completely anonymous. So when the police try to get involved and ask the guy, he's like, how can I possibly know who, whatever. And then the guy calls again and apologizes for another
murder.
Yes. And anyway, you're hearing the husband and wife that were behind the original calls, taking the calls, tell the stories, and you're hearing those original phone calls as well. So it's an interesting thing, and I will listen to it at some point.
Okay.
But it just sounds like something you, or maybe even your wife would be interested in listening to.
Check it out.
But yeah. Next question.
Oh yeah. Let's do this and then go on break.
Okay.
It'll take
that long to read it.
Try that caramel. Try it. Try it. Try it. You fucking cock.
That's bad.
I know.
That is bad.
I'm really mad that you haven't gotten as bad as I was hoping you would get.
Oh, it's so great. Okay. All right. I picked a better one since this is the last one you're gonna do before break.
Not the last one for you. I'm just saying. I'm assuming we just talked for like 10 minutes on the last one.
Fine. No, we talked for more than that.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll go back up here to the second one so I don't get out of order. Okay,
because order matters in this case.
It does.
Okay.
My wife passed away 11 years ago.
Congratulations.
I met my new wife. Well, why are you celebrating now? It's been 11 years. I met my new wife, Helene, about a year later. Now, Helene is in quotation marks, so I don't know if that's a made-up name or not, regardless. I met my wife, Helene, about a year later, and we married 3 years after that. Helene is unable to see pictures of my first wife without falling into a depressed state and wondering if I truly love her.
Okay.
I truly loved both of my wives with all my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that I found my soulmate twice. I hate the term soulmate. I do not believe that I have ever said anything or acted in a way that contradicts this, but I am Helene's first love and she is my second. Helene is super angry with my first wife. That's childish. I don't know how to reconcile this. We just moved into a new house and are putting up photographs again. I'd like to put up a specific picture of my kids that happens to also have my first wife, but broaching the subject sent Helene into a day-long sadness and anger that I could not do anything about. Helene is a wonderful person in so many ways. Sounds like it. For instance, she is good to my kids, even though they are from my first marriage. She even reminds me to stay in touch with them. When this has come up in the past, I've just given up and given in, but hiding such a big part of my past makes me feel wrong. Any ideas?
Losing the second wife's not nearly as hard as losing the first.
Yeah, I mean, so let's see. So 11 years ago, your wife died.
So first of all, how old your second wife? I mean, if he married and
so
she's
you've been
like,
married to her for 7 years now,
right?
Yeah.
So, but my point being is
she's damn near vested.
Well, depending on how old, like his first wife, I don't know how old they are.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So like if he went and full on like went and married a fucking 19-year-old girl, then yeah, that shit's. I get where the problems are coming from.
Sure,
but if they're like the same age,
I bet she's younger than him. But he didn't tell us any of that. He didn't tell us age or anything. He just said that his wife died 11 years ago. He met her a year later, married her 3 years after that, so 4 years. So
I think what this takes is
it's fucking therapy.
It's a come to Jesus meeting.
It is, but some people you just can't do that without that neutral third party to mediate. Well, especially if you love the person you want to stay with.
How you handle it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Therapy.
Yeah, I guess
it's the third person.
See, and for me, that's one of those things you can sit them down and be like, "Listen, we're going to talk about this," and then you can listen or you're not going to listen. It's fine. I'm saying my piece.
And then you're out half of your money again. Well, not again. I guess not again. Unless you buried her with half of it the first time.
You're paying for fucking therapy as it is. So whatever. But no, I mean, I'm seriously like. Granted, depending on the person, yeah, you might have to have therapy for sure. But ideally, I'm like, listen, this is a part of my life before you. You have to come to terms with that somehow. If you need to see a therapist to deal with that, or we need to talk about it, we can talk about it. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not hiding it. It's not like that. It would be different, I think, is if like his ex-wife had like this massive affair and he was still madly in love with her, and but she's fucking dead. Like she's of no threat to anything else, and regardless,
I mean, unless he's got her urn up on the
maybe he's fucking that ghost. But I'm just saying, like,
maybe he had her ashes poured into a fleshlight mold.
Oh my god, that'd be so weird. I'm kind of into it.
Gritty might feel kind of weird. Right.
It's exfoliating. But I don't know, man. I don't get people that are like that can't. We've talked about this some, but like I don't understand it. Like it's super immature for sure. And I guess depending on how old she is, but I feel like there's something they should be able to talk about. And
yes, absolutely, you should.
But I also feel like that for me would be you either fucking like we can talk this out, but you're either going to deal with this shit or you can fucking go. The door's not locked. Like it's your choice.
And I would be fine with I understand it's going to bother you for a while. Maybe you need to go to some type of therapy on your own. But the picture of my past wife and kids is going up on the wall, and you'll either go to therapy and take care of the issues.
I mean, I don't understand having things that are that big over. I don't have pictures of my kids in my house, like hardly at all.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
We have some.
But but I mean, for me, for something like that, that's not being unreasonable or selfish. If you gotta lay it down. That's one of those situations like, no, this is how this is. We can talk about it and maybe find somewhere and like, you need to deal with this, but sorry, this is you accept or you don't accept. Like, this is a part of who I was, still is a part of who I am. Like, they're not in the picture. They're not a threat to you. You got to fucking figure out how to deal with this. Now it'd be different if he had a t-shirt with his dead wife's shirt on it and had stuff everywhere and he was still mourning her for sure. But but to not accept that ever, like being able to accept the fact that was ever a thing is fucking stupid. And I don't think there'd be an issue with him being like, I recognize the fact that this bothers you and we can talk about why it bothers you and come to a conclusion. But if you don't want to do any of that, bye, bitch.
Yeah.
But I'm also a heartless fucking asshole. So that's, completely.
No, I mean, I can see both sides of that. I think one side is more ridiculous than the other. But I do think you got to talk about, go to some form of counseling together and have that third party discuss, and maybe she has to go to counseling on her own as well to deal with things. It sounds like she's got some issues she needs to deal with. So,
for sure.
I mean, the only thing what you said at the beginning, the only thing I say is like, if you're 50 and she's 23, fucking you
made your
buttered
bed,
that bed right.
Yeah.
You made your bed, sleep in it.
Yeah. But even then, like, I see nothing wrong with either person within reason, depending on what it is, just to be like, no, this is part of me. You can either accept this or you don't accept it. I will talk about it with you as much as you want to talk about it if we need to get to the bottom of it. But I'm not changing this. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you have to have some of those lines in places, like never gonna not see, like he said he's good to her kids, but I'm saying if she was like, I've heard of situations like this where the new wife doesn't even want them to see their kids.
Yeah.
And that's what's like, no,
yeah, that's ridiculous. That's yeah.
Because I can tell you, I've been very fortunate with Amanda. She's always been great with Lyric and Jude. But
yeah.
I mean, that'd be one thing. If you're an asshole to my kids, no, fuck you. Like, we're a team first and foremost, right? Kids are always second to the marriage. Always, always, always. In my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're gonna mistreat them, completely fucking different story.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Then like we're gonna have fucking problems.
Yeah.
So especially if you resent them because they're with another woman, like, well, you knew I had them when you married me, so
right.
Fucking suck it or go. I don't give a shit. Anyway,
I think I'd have her come home from work one day, and there'd be a huge portrait of the former wife up above the fireplace. Just go, hey, this is exposure therapy, honey. This is just supposed to get you used to.
Jump into it.
Did you hit the microphone, or is that something upstairs?
Something upstairs.
Oh, okay. So,
before we go into another one,
okay,
I do want to say the gentleman we spoke with earlier today, or
James Lauren,
is probably like the 10th person. I'm exaggerating, 5th person that has told us how fucking awesome we are and how much we deserve to be a massively huge podcast.
Yeah, he said he thinks we're on the verge.
On the verge, which is,
we'll see.
Yeah. I'm just saying, we're fucking awesome.
Sure.
More people need to think so that listen.
I agree.
that
number says nothing based on what he said.
I don't care. But that's the upsetting part is because we're so good at what we do. Granted, we could probably have, I feel like that we've gotten in this habit of relying on having good episodes with the guests and not doing a lot for the episodes in between now.
I prepared quite a bit more than
in a while
for tonight.
Yeah. And I didn't. We talked about though, like I meant to. I had plans, but
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. Like everything else in my life.
That's your truth. That's fine.
It's a bunch of fuck you. God, I'm gonna punch your goddamn iPad in the dick. You know what? I want a cigarette right now. I'm all riled up. I want to smoke.
That was less than 5 minutes for that last one. Okay. My sister's trans. Her relationship with our father.
Transylvanian?
Yes. Oh. Yeah. My sister's trans. Her relationship with our father was very difficult when she came out, though they reconciled in the months before his death.
Okay.
My late father and
so far so good.
Yeah. My late father and father-in-law share the same name. I am pregnant with a boy. My husband and I decided to name him after both of his grandfathers. My father-in-law is in a steep decline and my husband is not handling it well. My sister was very quiet when we announced the sex and name of the baby. Last week, we had an ugly conversation where my sister accused me of deliberately triggering her anxiety by naming my son after our father and being transphobic by wanting to honor my son with her dead name. Why didn't I think of her? I told my sister this wasn't about her. Dad was years dead. They made up. She needs to seek a therapist and not project on me. Bravo. I have always been there for her through thick and thin. And if she can't do the same, we should talk for a while. We shouldn't talk for a while. It's been a while. My sister and I have always been in each other's corner. Why can't she be in mine now? I need my sister. I guess I can understand her reaction, but this is literally life and death.
Oh my God.
And the name is very, very common. What do I do? Bravo for at least standing up for that moment, but you lost some of those points you gained when you said that this is life and death, and you said I need my sister.
Yeah,
I absolutely love my siblings. Like my sister and I have started talking way more lately now that she's moving up here. But so but I still don't feel like I need them.
Right,
that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like I always try to tell somebody. I have had a few people conversations. Not exactly like this one, but some of the similar details. I'm like, okay, if that person died tomorrow, how would your life change? Well, I really said, no, not how you feel. How would your day-to-day life and how you function, how would that, I wouldn't get to talk, no, the way you live life,
right,
going to work, how would it change? Well, it wouldn't. It fucking
5 days bereavement.
Right. But that's my point. Like emotionally, that shit's hard, but like,
yeah.
for most people, your day to day has nothing to do with your whole family. It's all emotional, and it's grieving in and of itself is selfish. But
that's not the issue here. The issue is being accused of.
I just was pointing that.
No, I get you. Yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah.
No, I think that's fucking stupid, and I think that's a perfect example of when shit's gone too far. As far as my feelings are more important than everybody else's.
Right.
It's a goddamn thing. It'd be one thing that, like, if that was your dad and he had sexually assaulted and raped you your entire life, and your sister knew about it, was like, you know what, we're going to name our son after our dad.
But what if, like in this situation, the husband's father had the same name and wanted to name his kid after?
Right. But then that's a conversation. I don't feel like it's, but in the situation that they're in, it was like, get over it.
Right.
Like, that's her trans sister is being the most selfish, pretentious fucking cunt in this situation that they could possibly be.
Yeah.
And I need my sister. She's also being a fucking little pussy ass bitch. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's
she's not in the wrong for wanting to name her kid whatever the fuck she wants.
Right.
And she's not wrong. Whoa, goddamn, I hiccuped. And she's not wrong for saying the other person, it's not a fucking about you.
Right.
That's true.
That's the thing that stands out to me the most, is that you didn't take your sister into consideration at all. You didn't think about it at all. And that's the thing. Like, it's not about her to you.
Right.
That's how you know. That's how I know, at least based on what I've read here, that you're telling us, is that your heart is in the right place. It had nothing to do with your sister and everything to do with honoring your parents.
Right.
And that's that. I don't know.
But also, let's take a second to talk about, again, I wish they said how old they were.
I do too. And I wish they said what the name was.
But if they're adults,
it is a common name, I'd like to know.
But getting that, if they're in their 20s, I get a little more. But if your husband is having that much of a hard time because his dad's health in decline, it's like, you're a goddamn adult. Parents die. That's part of the game. Like, man the fuck up, bitch. Like, that's my other.
Sure, but we don't know what extent the having a hard time is.
Right.
Wives are prone to exaggeration. I mean, it's a fact.
Everybody's prone to exaggeration. That's your truth.
Sure. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, I mean, there's I was making a little joke there because that came up between me and my daughter and my wife the other night. Yeah. So
that specific thing.
Well, that wives are prone to exaggeration.
Oh yeah.
So,
but no, I don't feel like she's in the wrong, but I feel like now she's being a little backpedaling bitch
for saying,
I just need my sister and I don't know what to do.
I don't feel like it's backpedaling. I just feel
backpedaling
like
is okay, but she's wanting affirmation for her opinion. And that's all any of these people want when they write in for this stuff, is they're not really wanting advice. They're wanting somebody to tell them that they're doing the right thing.
Sure.
That's all any of these people fucking want.
Yeah.
It's validation. It's affirmation that they're right and the other person's wrong. That's all any of these people fucking want to write in.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. They do for sure want to know that they're right.
Right.
So I don't know, whatever.
Well,
I mean, I don't think that,
good for you for standing up to your fucking sister.
It is. I don't think you're in the wrong in what you've done. And I would never tell a friend of mine, if they continue to go ahead with that name, that you really should have really considered more of this. I disagree with that.
But there's also the thing that people don't ever mention on these. Like, it is perfectly okay to tell someone, like, listen, this is where I stand with this. I still love you. If you want to have a conversation later, we can. And then leave the ball in their fucking court.
Yeah.
And every now and then, shoot them a text message. Be like, hey, thinking about you. Hope you're doing all right. If you ever want to talk, let me know.
Right.
That keeps you fucking, completely clear of any blame, because you are being open.
It does,
if
but
you
some
mean
people don't care if that they're clear of blame. They just want to be able to have that close relationship still.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, I understand you don't. You are not the norm, though.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, I have a hard time comprehending, like, wanting someone in your life that doesn't want to be in yours.
So here's real world example in my life. My brother David, not Will. Will, I get messages from Will constantly. Yeah. But my brother almost never calls or texts me ever. Now, I used to reach out to him quite a bit and say, hey, I'm headed to such and such bar tonight. And he never really, for the most part, occasionally, but most of the time, like, never would come out and meet, whatever. But I never hear from him anymore. And eventually, I said to my wife, I kind of gave up. And she said, you're the big brother. You don't get to give up.
What?
Right. And I said, all right. I said, give up's the wrong phrase. What I did is I stepped back. If he texts me, I text him back.
Yeah.
And I answer phone calls and things like that. He wanted to ride with us to my mom's birthday party. Absolutely. Hop in the car. Let's go. But so I just kind of quit reaching out to him. And, every once in a while we talk or whatever. And so that's the thing. Like, I kind of lost the exact point I was trying to make there.
I think it's funny though. You said something like that. Your wife said that you're the big brother. You don't get to give up. Like somehow no, I understand why, but I'm just saying I've heard things like that before. And for some reason it implies that because of the order you were born in, you have some fucking obligation to the other person.
I think it's because you're automatically soon to be more mature, but also you have to think my wife grew up with no siblings.
Right.
And so all she ever wanted was a sibling.
No, I understand
or whatever. And so to her, it's insane to think that two siblings wouldn't contact each other.
Right. No, I understand.
And that's the thing. Like I think she's more, because she's married to me or whatever, she's kind of holding me to a higher standard of that.
No, I understand that.
But I get what you're saying as far as like, why does your birth order mean that you have
to me, like, or even the whole that blood's thicker than water bullshit. Like, okay, like I have my family, like, and I would still, if any one of them called me right now and asked me for help, I would fucking head to Fayetteville and help them out because I feel like it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
But I don't feel beholden to them. Like if it's some stupid shit, I'm not going to get in the middle of that. Fuck that. That's you guys' drama. But like if my sister's like, hey, my car broke down, I can't get a hold of anybody. It's like, yeah, I'm on my way. But honestly, I would do that for almost anyone.
Sure.
You know, if you know, like if you fucking, I hate you, but if you call me like, hey man, I need a ride, like I'd come and get you. Like I don't give a shit. Because I feel like, you know, being like kind to people is important, but it's not based on, I don't know if they're my family or not. Like I don't know. But my family thinks I'm awful. I mean, and that's fair. I mean, I recognize that my complete detachment from like humanity is not a normal thing. Like, I understand that. It's just,
as soon as you said your family thinks you're awful, I immediately wanted to say that, but they think you're a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
But that led me to this thought. There's something I've been doing lately to see if anybody calls me out for it.
Okay.
When somebody is trying to make a point or whatever, and I'm going to play devil's advocate. Because I do enjoy doing it. I think we both do it to an extent. But anyway, I started saying this, and I said it to my sister and her friend the other night, and they didn't catch it. But I've started instead of saying, let me play devil's advocate here, I'll say, let me advocate for Satan for a minute. just to see
I like
what
it.
they
Let me
say.
advocate for Satan. I like it.
So anyway, regardless. Whoever just popped on, I'm sorry. We're fixing to take a break. But the stream will stay, and we'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. So hang tight.
Hey everybody, we'd like to take a minute to tell you about a really cool podcasting app called Stitcher Premium.
Yeah, Stitcher Premium is, like you said, a free app, and they've got everything you could look for: true crime, comedy, pop culture, The Office ladies. I think Conan O'Brien's podcast is on there. There's lots of things on there.
And archives of all those things.
Oh, yeah. And smart lists.
Yeah, the smart lists. That's what I was about to say, you fuck. Smart lists basically will watch what you're listening to, or listen to what you're listening to, use some fancy algorithms, and make recommendations on shit that you already like.
Yeah, so if you go to Stitcher.com/premium and use the code B3F, you can get a month free. So it's $4.99 a month, or $34.99 if you pay for a full year. But use the code B3F, and you'll get a free month.
Check it out. Are you ready?
I am.
All right, I should probably take this little background off here. Hey, we are back. Let's get our call in here. So you said you have some shit to show us. Do we want to do? Are we going to answer any more questions? More. I was going to put more ice in my drink.
I'm just drinking the water that's melted out of the bottom.
That's fucking disgusting. I'm kidding. You know,
you've had my dick in your mouth.
That's true. And it tasted way worse than this vodka.
It should. I dipped it in ouzo.
I remember I talked to this one girl I was friends with in Hawaii. Never did anything with her and everything going.
Sure.
But she was asking me, she was saying like something about like she liked sucking dicks, but she hated the smell. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like it's like always this, it smells gross. I'm like, what kind of dicks are you sucking? Like what always has whatever. I was like, dude, you're watching people after they've been like surfing and shit all day, and not like if you're going down, like I get like if it's after gym day. Sure. But if you're going and you're like putting a dude's dick in your mouth and it just smells bad or tastes fucking like
something's wrong.
They're not cleaning the dick or their fucking ball sack area. You know, they're not clean. It's gross. It's gross as shit. Anyway,
so before we do any more questions, let's go ahead and show these videos that
the video.
Yeah. Okay. So this is it's an anti-smoking commercial.
Oh, this is the anti-smoking commercial.
Yeah.
All right. So,
you got that up there?
I do. Why is it not playing though? God damn it. Yeah, it's a really good question here.
Yeah, I think you may. I don't know if you have to go to it.
I think
play
I
it
do.
or what.
It's all right. I'll pull it up here. All right, we ready?
Yep.
Yay! Look, there it is. This is kind of wonderful.
Are they smoking? Or are they gay?
What?
It's okay to smoke.
That's a real commercial?
Way back in the day, yeah.
Oh my God. I wanna watch that
Yeah,
again.
go ahead and watch it. Go ahead.
Holy
great,
shit.
It's great, isn't it?
That's amazing. I have to say, you usually don't surprise me like that, but damn, that surprised me. That surprised me real good.
Yeah. It's great. Some great actors.
Are they smoking? Or are they gay?
That can't be a real
It's gay
commercial.
to smoke. Brought to you by the U.S. Centers for
Yeah, that doesn't
Disease
mean
Control.
it hasn't been like
Dude,
Photoshop or some shit.
I think it's real.
You think it's real?
I think it is. I mean, we did some shit back in the 90s.
No,
Put some shit on TV.
That's true. That's very true. But god damn. Did you want to talk about this this photo?
Yeah. Go ahead and put that up. So on my way to work Thursday, I think.
Yep.
So can you see that? So
yeah, I can see that.
This is if you leave my neighborhood this direction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which side of the neighborhood you come in on.
Okay.
But if you leave and go out this direction,
that's
at the
the way
bottom
I
of
go.
the hill at the red light, it's the house diagonal to your left.
Yeah.
I pull up there on my way to work, and there's a cop SUV sitting in the road with its lights on, and I'm like, they must have pulled somebody over, but I don't see another car.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I see these 4 guys get out of vehicles, and 3 of them are not uniformed,
Obviously.
and they all have vests on, and one guy pulls a shotgun out and just like loads it up or whatever, and they go around to the door and start beating on the door. And I sat there for a minute so that I could get a picture for this podcast.
That's amazing.
For that. Now I was at the light long enough to be able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
I even pulled over to the side of the road so I could actually get a still photo of it. And one of the cops like saw me take the picture or whatever and like pointed over at me or whatever. I was like, guess it's time to go to work. And I took off.
So when you stand out like, it is within my constitutional rights.
Right.
Are you detaining me?
Right.
Am I being detained?
Am I being detained? What laws have I broken, officer? Yeah. No. And when one thought I had was, am I fixing to see someone be abused by a cop or someone shot?
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
it's
anyway,
fucking awesome.
But no one came to the door, so 2 of them walked back around. Those other 2 guys stood there, and I drove off. So
interesting. That's cool
anyway,
though.
It is.
Because you're talking about your neighbors yelling out there. I've told you about we call the go to hell neighbors, right?
Oh,
I've
yeah,
told you
yeah,
about
yeah.
them before. Yeah. They had a good old knockdown drag out the other day, throwing rocks at each other and shit. It was awesome. I don't understand how 2 grown ass people, like he's in his 50s, she has to be in her 70s, like are out there fucking screaming at each other like toddlers. It's amazing.
That's how the people across the street, that they both look like they're in their late 60s, early 70s. So
give a shit.
No
fucks.
No. Well, it's funny. So the guy that keeps his dog off the leash is the same guy that wrote me the letter last year about leaves.
Yeah.
So his grandson, around Christmas, his son and his grandson was there at his house, and his grandson just turned 16 and started driving his own, and was driving a pickup truck and backed out and hit one of my beloved Japanese maples.
Oh my God.
At the end of my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't plant them there. They came with the house.
Okay.
But no, I'm just saying, but to go buy one that looks like a twig is about $200.
Okay.
They're very expensive.
Okay.
I do like them.
Okay.
Because no one else around here has them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, he backed down and he hit one of them and broke a branch off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
how dare you?
We kept seeing whatever. I don't give a shit. I didn't raise hell, but I thought it was quite funny after the leaf shit that his grandson damages.
To you?
So the dogs are kind of going crazy because these people were standing out in the road.
Yeah.
And I look out and I see like they're standing in the road. One of them standing over close to my driveway or whatever. And I go out and I say, is everything okay?
Right.
Because I had heard the hit and I thought that they hit a car.
Right.
And I don't care that it wasn't my car unless they pulled all the way into my driveway.
Yeah.
So I go out and it's like, is everything okay? And the guy's like, yeah. My dad lives here, but my son backed out and he hit your bush over here or whatever, but we're fine or whatever. And then the man that lives there that wrote me the letter about the leaves came out, and it was great to get to see him have to play nice and apologize and whatever. And he said, I'll come over tomorrow and I've got some gray paint that when we trim branches off, we paint over the end of the branch so that it at least it's not an eyesore or whatever.
It doesn't give me my goddamn branch back, does it, Robert?
Right. He took it and threw it over. His name was John. And I got you. But he threw it over to the side of the thing, like to be picked up when the brush people come by or whatever. But
it's like, now you're just tossing my branches around like they're nothing.
Right. Huh? Right. No, to me, it was just like, it felt like a little bit of indication that you write me a shitty letter about leaves. Yeah. And now your grandson is vandalizing my property. And you're coming over and painting it.
You're such a petty fucking rural.
I didn't say anything.
Not rural. That's the wrong word. Suburban homeowner.
Yes. I'm a suburbanite. Yeah.
Suburbanite. Are you finishing that? We got one more fucking little bit to do.
Sure, but we're just.
I don't care. I want to get it over.
I don't want you to spend the night here again.
Dude,
you're drinking so fast.
I'm wanting to get it out of the way. Plenty of time to get out of my system.
For those of you that didn't notice how drunk Steven was at the end of last week's episode with Mike Curley, he goes outside as soon as we're done. Mm-hmm. And I have some chicken legs that I had smoked earlier, and
they were delicious,
and made basically buffalo chicken legs. And he pounded 2 of them, and he was drinking on an empty stomach. He was drinking on an empty stomach, which is a rookie move. Uh-huh. And he pounds 2 of those chicken legs, and he says, I think I'm going to get sick." Yep. Goes to the bathroom. He comes out, and he's standing over the rail. He never gets sick. And then, but when he goes to the bathroom, he comes out and he looks like a completely different person. Right. Looked like he took a load off.
And I did.
Yes. And he had said to me, I may have to stay here or get you to carry me home or whatever. But he goes to leave. He looks like he sobered up in the bathroom. That's the way he looks. He goes out to his car.
I exercise the demons.
You exercise something. He goes out to his car. I go upstairs. I'm talking to my wife. She's going to sleep. I don't have my phone. And I go grab my phone 10 minutes or so later. And I'm getting text messages from him. And let me see.
It's like I was blowing your phone up. I only sent you like 3 messages.
Within the span of a few minutes from you, that's a lot.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So I don't know, because I don't think we've texted a lot this week.
No, we haven't.
Let's see here. If I can find these messages. There we go. He leaves, gets out to his car. It's 4 messages.
Okay, that is a lot
between 11:42 and 11:48.
Okay,
that's 6 minutes and 4 messages. That's a lot. And he had said, the last time he said to me, he's like, "No, I'm good," because I said, "I don't mind driving you home. You come back and get your car tomorrow." And he goes, "No, I'm good." And he leaves.
Yep.
And he texts me and he says, "Kidding, I'm not good, LOL." And then within the same 60 seconds, he texts back, "I am gonna need to crash."
Yep.
And then 2 minutes later, he says, "Like a little bitch."
Yep.
And then 4 minutes later, he says, "I'm still out front, LOL."
Yep.
So I go out front, and we never use our front door, so that was weird to start with. But,
I didn't notice which door you came out of.
Yeah, well, you came in the front door and then went downstairs.
Did I?
Coming in the side door?
I don't remember that part.
Yes, you came back in the front door.
Okay. I remember everything. I don't remember how I came in your house, though.
You came in the front door and went downstairs and went to the bathroom again.
Okay.
And so I go out front and get him, and he's like, I already threw up like in the road or something like that. And but when he gets out of his car, and he had walked out to his car, looked like a near sober person. Mm-hmm. And he gets out of his car and he's bouncing with his steps and like he may fall over.
Yeah.
He comes in the house. He goes to the bathroom. He says, "I just need a couch and a garbage can." Because I offered to take him home again at that point. It's like, nope, I just need a couch.
Not right in the car. I would have thrown up more if I'd have.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And you said that to me. You said, "No, it's been much better for me to stay here than throw up in your car the whole way home." So I get him a pillow and a blanket and put him on the couch down here. And the next morning around 8-ish o'clock, he texts me, says, "What door do I need to leave out of?"
Yep.
And that was the end of it. So
I was actually up a little bit before then because I smoked and peed, and I was like, I'm just trying to figure out what to do if you're still sleeping. I didn't want to throw the dogs up, and that door was closed, and so I didn't know, because I know Olivia's moved down here now, so I didn't know what the fuck to do. So I was like, I waited.
Yeah, I texted Olivia after you laid down here and turned the lights on you, tucked you in and everything. And I just texted her and said, hey, just so you know, Steven's on the couch in the bar room. And when you get home, just so you know.
Yeah.
Which she wouldn't have come in here anyway, but anyway. And you left, and I heard you leave because you texted me and asked me which door, and I was mostly awake. I wasn't up, but I text you back, but I never heard you get up and go outside to smoke or anything like that. Nobody. The dogs never budged.
I'm a goddamn courteous guest. That's fucking why.
The dogs never budged or anything.
The only exception to that rule is when I got super shit faced on Easter and I left my shit ass fucking underwear when I shit my pants in your.
Well, but at that point I had to lay towels around the couch because who knew where you were going to throw up at? And I slept. We had a sectional, and you slept on this side, and I slept on this side just in case.
You took care of me. It was sweet.
That's it. We've both taken care of each other when we've been drunk.
I've never really taken care of you.
When absinthe.
I still didn't really take care of you.
Well, bitch, you stayed there. I slept on the couch, and you slept on the chair next to the couch just in case. Which is the same thing I did.
I've still, my fondest memory from that is A, beating the shit out of you. B, was you ruining your mom's fucking trash can and her getting mad at you.
She was not happy about that at all.
Stained it green. That's so awesome.
Yeah, they don't call it the Green Fairy for nothing.
Right? Oh my God.
So
anyway,
I got some questions, or I've got some news stories. I can do both. So we still got some more questions, or let's
do one more question, and then let's do some news. Let's help some people today. Let's help some people today. We need to get our fucking sound pads loaded back up.
So let me just tell you the gist of each question with like one phrase, and I'll let you pick. We just did that. Let's see here. Benefiting too much from unemployment.
Okay.
Money pushy mother.
Mm-hmm.
Disorganized gardener. Church wedding.
Ooh, church wedding.
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Church wedding.
Church wedding. Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready to change some lives here tonight.
Where the hell did it go?
Oh my God.
Sorry, I scrolled to go back to it because it was not the first one. And now I can't. Huh.
Well, then read a different one.
No. That's fine. I'll get it in just a second. All right. The fuck did it go?
God damn it, Joey. Just do something else.
No. The fuck did it go?
This episode is brought to you by Dementia.
It's not Dementia. It's just fucking where the hell is it on the page?
Mm-hmm. Hey, Trevor, what's going on, dude?
Hey, look, there's Trevor.
We just shouted you guys out earlier.
We did
early in the episode.
There it is. All right, here we go. Church wedding. Trevor, listen along. Maybe Trevor is gone.
Of course.
My sister is in the process of planning a wedding to a man she's been dating for only 2 years. Not sure why that matters. He's a nice enough guy, but I'm a little concerned. He's a member of a very strange religion. My sister and I grew up non-religious, but we were always taught to respect all religions and belief systems. I've been to plenty of different religious services with friends and relatives. However, I feel like his denomination is about 2 steps away from a cult. He claims to now be secular and not interested in staying with the church, but he still attends every week. My sister goes along with this and has even agreed to have their wedding in his church. I went to a service just to see if I was being unfairly prejudicial, but the whole thing was bizarre and, again, very culty. The wedding will be completely dry. Very strange for my Russian, Italian, Irish family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. And there is no dancing or music other than hymns allowed.
Sounds like a Church of Christ.
A little bit. The bridesmaids' dresses must go past the knee, and we're not allowed to wear makeup. Ooh. I apparently will have to cover my tattoos and remove my piercing to be allowed into the building. Mm-hmm. The more I try to talk to my sister...
That might be a Pentecostal church, traditional Pentecostal.
Could be. The more I try to talk to my sister about my concerns, the more she pushes back. I know she's, in parentheses, barely an adult, but I feel like she's making a huge mistake. Mm-hmm. How can I show her she's not going down the right path? that statement alone tells me you're approaching this from the wrong side.
Yeah.
It's not for you to decide if she's going down the wrong path or not.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, you're being stupid.
If she's barely an adult, then I'm going to assume that you think of yourself higher than her because you're older than her,
right?
In which case you should know by now it's not your fucking wedding.
Right. That's
you either will. You have to decide if you're going to go along with whatever the requirements are to be in her wedding party or you're not.
Yeah. I think you're well within your rights to have a conversation with your sister saying, hey,
absolutely,
I'm not sure about these things. But if she says, nope, this is what I want, then you either fucking toe the line or you fucking don't. Like,
right. You don't have to agree with it to go along and be in the wedding.
No. But that's the thing people do nowadays so much is they feel like that if they do something, or I shouldn't even say do something, they feel like if there's any part of something they're associated with, that it automatically means an endorsement.
Absolutely. And it doesn't.
It doesn't at all. So like people's, like in this instance, if I go to my sister's wedding and it's like this cultish, like I'm suddenly approving of it. It's like, no, you're supporting your fucking sister. Like it's bigger than goddamn your tattoos and your piercing. Get the fuck over yourself.
Right.
Like I love my tattoos. I love my shit. I don't have to cover them up. But if I'm going to my grandmother's Baptist church with her because she asked me to go with her, I know full well I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt. I'm not showing my tattoos. I'm wearing nice pants, a shirt, and possibly a tie.
And you're going to take the dick out of your mouth.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Like that's part of it. Like you don't agree to do things on your own terms for other people. Like that's stupid.
Right.
Like David Clayton got married. I had my lip piercing. I took that shit out because Sydney didn't want me to have my lip pierced in their wedding photos. I get it. At the time, I was like, I want to leave it in. I think it's stupid. But my friend.
Yeah, it is a stupid thing, but whatever. It's her wedding photos.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you were paying for the wedding photos, different thing.
Yep.
You're not.
Now, what it sounds like to me, though, with this person asking for opinion, it's not so much that she has an issue, even though it's more reading between lines. It's making her uncomfortable that she has to do things she doesn't want to have to do. And she's guising it or putting it under the guise of concern.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? People that try to get involved in other people's lives when they feel like they're going down the wrong path.
I feel like you're well within your right to broach the subject with someone, but it's not any of your fucking business if whatever. You state your piece and then be done with it. It doesn't affect you.
Do you feel like there's even a better or best way to state your piece in the matter?
A better or best way to do it?
Yeah. Like if you feel like somebody's going down the wrong path, right? And you feel somehow morally obligated to step in and say something. Like, how do you approach that? Like, how do you do
I think for like, if I were going to do it, I'd be like, hey man, or hey person, just, sorry, point of personal privilege.
Right.
I would say, hey, I've seen this happen a lot, or I've experienced this myself. I think that you're going in a direction that you're not going to be pleased with the outcome.
Right.
And this is why I think that. If you choose to do it, that's on you at that point. But this is my thought on it. Take it or leave it.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
What else can you do?
Well, because people will try to do that and put it in them as, because if I'm doing this, I can say, hey, I think you're wrong. This is what I think is the right way to do it. But ultimately, it's your call because you recognize you're an adult, as opposed to saying you are wrong. You are going to do this. This is what's going to happen. Sure. It's a very different thing. And I don't understand why people have a hard time with just saying your piece and then let them make their own goddamn decision.
People nowadays, and especially young people under 35, let's say, have a hard time with being so open-minded that they're closed-minded.
Right.
And
yep.
Which one do I want? How do they feel? Which one feels better? Last one. That one's trying to stay in my hand, so I'm going to go with the other one.
Oh, God.
Coconut.
Damn it, you motherfucking cunt.
Here's the thing. This is bad for me. I hate coconut flavored whatever.
The one wild card I
got that. So glad I didn't get that one. What is that?
It's Mother's Sweet Tea Vodka.
Hey, you never know. Maybe it'll be good.
I've had sweet tea vodka.
I have not.
I wish you had lemon down here.
I've had coconut rum, and coconut rum sucks ass. So I can only imagine coconut vodka is going to be the same.
I was really hoping.
It smells like suntan oil.
I wish you had lemon down here for this, but oh well.
Yeah, I have lime in the fridge in there, but I'm not going to get it right now.
Lime. Who puts lime in sweet tea?
I understand that, but let me smell that shit.
It smells like sweet tea.
It really
Take a
does.
sip.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
That's not
I've
bad.
had the Firefly sweet tea vodka. I haven't had this brand. Yeah, it's not terrible.
That's not good.
Finally.
It's not as like that's better than the other two pieces of bullshit that you've had that you drank tonight, but it ain't good. I hate coconut flavored stuff.
So that makes me a little happy.
It's like banana flavor. So I love bananas, but banana flavored, fuck that shit. Anyway,
did you know that the banana flavoring in things is what like the original bananas that were first brought over actually tasted like? Not like the juicy, delicious nanners that we have nowadays.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people nowadays, especially under 35 and even more so under 30, have a issue that they're so open-minded, they're closed-minded. And that's annoying as hell. My youngest brother is like that. He's so open-minded to things that aren't the norm that if you aren't into that or you don't really like it or whatever,
then you're wrong.
You're absolutely wrong. And I'm like, that's not open-minded then, dude.
Right.
Yeah. You're only open to your opinion.
Well, see, what I don't understand is because to me, open-mindedness means I can recognize that it's there.
Sure. I don't have to agree with it.
And I don't have to approve of it, but I can at least treat it with respect. To me, that's open-mindedness.
This flat earth, the same way we handled the conversation with David Weiss. We don't agree with most of what he said, if any.
Right.
But I it's a valid point to make and to challenge the authority of NASA and the government. I'm all about that, but whatever.
But at the same time, like, so my thing is like, I can acknowledge whatever your belief, walk, whatever it may be.
Sure.
And I can, show you respect as a human being in regards to that. I can think it's wrong. I can think it's stupid. I can think whatever. That doesn't make me closed-minded. That just means I don't agree with whatever. Now, closed-minded to me is automatically dismissing you as a human being because of your belief or lifestyle. Like, that to me is
a complete lack of consideration of your opinion in the least.
Right.
Like just complete lack of that's the way you think. Fuck off. I don't care. You're completely wrong for that.
Yeah.
And whatever.
And you and I,
by definition, you're a bigot.
Right. Exactly. And whatever. But it's stupid. I don't understand that mindset of like, because it goes the opposite, as opposed to saying like, I can sit here and say, I don't agree with that. They're entitled to that opinion. Yeah. But I don't agree with what they're doing. But good for them. Do you? And another person, like you were saying, would be like, you have to agree with that and be okay. Like, I don't have to be okay with anything. Like, I can still respect them, but I don't, I don't want this or whatever. Having a stance on it is not being closed-minded towards it. You know what I mean? And as opposed to like you were saying, people either have to be completely accepting of everything, or like I said, you're closed-minded because anything that's outside of unacceptance, that's wrong. Yeah. No, it's not wrong. I don't have your opinions. Have your opinions. Live your life. Live your truth.
So, I'm going to be going on vacation again in early June this year.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting back on a Saturday. Depending on whether we fly, we'll determine what time we get back. And I know last year I came back on a Saturday and we recorded an episode.
Yeah.
At that time, though, we weren't live streaming. So I was thinking about how to handle that this year, about live streaming or whatever. I don't know what time we'll get back, but
it does a podcast while you're on vacation, live stream while you're there.
That's what I was thinking. But how do I pull that off without having to deal with kids, preteens, things like that bothering me?
Tell them to stay the fuck out. You're going to punch them in their preteen cocks.
Yeah, but then I got to deal with dad asking, what am I doing?
Have him on.
Don't think that's happening.
Let me interview your dad.
Fuck off with that shit. I'm closed-minded to that. I am closed-minded to that.
I would have such a good conversation with your dad.
You absolutely would. Yeah. And you would be respectful.
Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. But I'm not prepared for that yet.
And I would give him a suggested list of episodes to listen to.
Yeah, I bet you would. All right. So I got something else pertaining to my dad. 2 weeks from now, you gonna go play golf with us? par three course. So it's not a full-fledged course.
When is this?
It's 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, but I mean, like here in Knoxville.
Yeah, it'd be in Knoxville. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a possibility. We're moving Jessica up here that weekend. So Friday night after work, I got to drive to Nolensville, and then Saturday drive my trailer up here with her stuff. And depending on the weather and what time we get to Knoxville, Dad and I are going to go. Maybe Gabe too. Okay. Are going to go to a par 3 course and play.
Do you know how uncomfortable I can make Gabe on that? And you?
Sure. I don't know that you can make me that uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Around my dad.
Yeah, no,
but yeah, I'll put you in the golf cart with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm going to start the first hole.
He'll lead you back to the Lord.
I'm going to start saying "God damn it" really quietly under my breath, like where it's not, and I'm going to get slowly louder as the day goes on until I
don't think you'll do that. You're too respectful of a person to do that.
That's true. That's true. Which is really
for all your faults.
Which is really fucking weird, right?
You're a very respectful person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've actually, I do know
because
why. I do know why.
Because that's what good people do.
Right.
I mean, and you're not for all of your assholishness.
Right.
And with mine, like being respectful of someone. Now, once they cross that line, it's game on. But,
Well, I've always just felt like, like we've talked about, like I feel like the world's a shitty enough place, and a baseline of respect is what makes things go around. And like, as long as it's not compromising, which I have very flexible morals and standards for most things, but as long as it's not compromising something I believe to be of like paramount value, like I have no problem showing respect to someone based on anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a fucking dumbass, you have a vegan household and your parents or you're vegan, your kids are vegan, like everybody's vegan, whatever. Like if I come to your house for dinner, I will respect the fact, and I won't talk shit about you being a vegan. Depending on our relationship, I might make a joke, but you know what I mean? I'm going to be respectful. Not come be like, why you got to eat this? Can I bring my own blah, blah, blah? Because I've seen that shit. It's fucking stupid. I don't know. Like if like my parents, for instance, my parents, my mom, if a Muslim couple was around them, they wouldn't have a Muslim over or they wouldn't go to a Muslim's house for dinner if they were doing any type of traditional. And I say Muslim as like it's a race. It's not a race. It's a religion. Yeah. But if they had any type of Muslim rituals they performed, my parents wouldn't go. I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, you're not converting to Islam,
right?
By being respectful of whatever, of their culture, their traditions, whatever the fuck maybe. Like, I don't understand that. Like, they were asking me, my mom one time, like, well, would you go to a Hindu temple? It's like, yeah. Like, why would you go in there and be around that? I was like, because it's culture and they believe and love that stuff as much as you do going to church. Like, I can go there and be respectful. That doesn't mean I'm converting to fucking Hinduism.
Well, I mean, even with Muslims, when they say Allah, it just means God.
I don't even give shit about
that. I understand that. I'm just saying, but like, you can go there and pray and say Allah and it still be praying to your same God. It's not
technically true. But
no, Allah. No, it is. It translates to God.
Okay.
It does.
I don't want do we need to start pulling out some fucking Hebrew manuscripts?
I'm not worried about Hebrew. I'm just talking about translating Allah is God. Okay. I've looked it up to see. Okay. I wanted to find out. Okay. Because I went through this thing where I would tell people praise Allah, just to see what their response was. Yeah. But anyway,
translating into English, yes, but the meaning behind is different. But whatever.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. You're right.
And I'm not saying right or wrong. I just meant as far as between the two.
It's obviously it's wrong. But,
right.
But no, I don't know. I've tried to pay attention tonight and write, and I wrote down a little thing here to find a clip that we could promote.
No.
Because we don't have alcohol laying out here like normal. We have a big bottle sitting out here like normal or whatever. And I tried to find something that would take the least amount of editing or whatever wouldn't get taken down. It's hard to.
No, it's not. That's why I call this from the fucking holdover, man.
I'm talking about no. I'm not saying it's not promotion. I'm talking about to promote the post, for post promotion or podcast
I will find a funny clip and I will bleep it out and we'll just
use it. I'm just saying like it's either gonna be against somebody's some platform's community guidelines or something.
Yeah. Figure it out.
I don't care.
Figure it out.
Oh well.
But I don't know, man. The lack of whatever. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. I don't respect people who don't respect people.
So I can jot you down for a round of golf in 2 weeks. You don't have to.
Yeah. You don't
have to play. It's fine. I was just
how about
bringing
pencil
that
me
on
in?
You. Pencil you in?
Pencil me in.
I only have a pen.
Okay.
So It's fine. It'd be me and Dad, probably Gabe. I don't think my brother will play. I don't think my other son will play. My daughter would go, but I doubt it. But that's, maybe by then. I do have the buddy I work with. He called in.
Okay.
He called in on the David Weiss episode.
Right.
Just bought a boat.
Okay.
So, maybe we can get shit faced on a boat one night.
Yeah.
Record an episode.
So I want to read one thing because I know we got other stuff to do, and just because it's been bothering me, and we've made fun of it a few times tonight. And there's a few different things, places to find this. This is one of the more well-worded ones, and you can dig into it from a bunch of different shit. But so truth, this is the difference between fact and truth. So truth is an instance of quoting one or many of the facts while describing or discussing the subject. The difference between truth and fact is that fact is something that cannot be combated with reasoning because it is logic itself. Truth is something that depends on a person's perspective and experience or religious views.
Okay.
It's made me feel better.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Which is what I was trying to say to you when you were going off on like, well, that's not what I think. I was like, because that's your truth.
Oh my
because it's the interpretation of the facts, and I was not wording it well. My arguments were shitty.
What you were misunderstanding is I was telling you I think that's the definition of fact.
Is what?
I don't remember the conversation we were having.
You were saying the fact and truth.
I didn't even listen to what you just read.
Right.
Somebody text us.
Okay.
And had nothing to do with the show.
Okay. All right. That's
what the fuck.
I don't know. But it was just the difference between truth and fact, and that's all that was. Yeah.
If you're watching, we went through some questions earlier. So if you have a question you'd like us to answer for you or advice on a particular situation going on, then please comment or call in 754-225-5233.
Who the fuck texted our Google Voice asking about that?
I know. I don't know. Somebody watching. There's got to be somebody watching. My sister, when she moves, she's going to want to get connected with your wife to do some Reiki at some point. No, I'm just letting you know. So I've got some news.
Hey, you're very happy being able to push your iPad buttons.
No, it's not that. I just know you don't have it on there anymore.
No,
right?
I don't even know what happened to the physical files. Like the physical files, but the actual files. Yeah. News.
So, let me get back to it. Did you hear about the United flight?
The blue engine?
Yeah. It's crazy. Have you seen the video from it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I had the video just in case you hadn't seen it.
It's like a dream come true. That's free flights on United for the rest of your life.
You think so?
Yeah.
So let me go through the story, and then I got a question for you. And I think I know the answer, and I know what my answer is, and it's probably the same as yours. But United Airlines
Cage.
Fuck off, man. How did you know that? Con Air, man. I watched, already getting off topic. I watched Face Off again the other night. It's such a great, not good movie.
That was John Travolta, Nick
Yes,
Cage,
it
right?
was. Yeah. So I could eat a peach for hours. All right. United Airlines engine failure on Boeing 777 flight from Colorado. So an engine on United Airlines flight from Colorado to Hawaii that rained aircraft parts over suburban Denver on Saturday has thrust the Boeing 777 engine type blades into the spotlight. Blah, blah. The plane returned safe to Denver safely, and there were no injuries reported among the 231 passengers and 10 crew members or Colorado residents. Have you seen any of the pictures of the debris in the yards?
Yeah,
it's insane. Imagine hearing something walking in your front yard, and there's the part of an engine.
It's Donnie Darko, dude.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah. It's
also Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Donnie Darko did it first.
Okay, that's fine. Breaking Bad did it better. No injuries among the 231 passengers and 10 crew members or Colorado residents, but images from the incident and passenger reports have shaken travelers and left them with countless questions about one of the airline industry's go-to wide-body jets for Europe and Hawaii flights. Why would that leave you questions? What statistically, you'll never deal with this again. Any flight you get on is going to be smooth sailing, statistically. I mean, I even read where they came back and they were going to get on another plane and take that to Hawaii. I don't know why that keeps happening tonight. Anyway, they were going to take another plane to Hawaii, and they gave them the option to fly on to Hawaii or I guess, give them their money back, and
Right.
they weren't going to fly. And some people didn't get on the plane and
Right.
fly. I don't understand. What would you do?
Go to Hawaii.
Exactly.
Well, it depends on how much of my time off it ate up. Like if it's like a whole day and shit, I'm like, I might not have time. But I'd be like, can I get a first class? What, you know what? No, I wouldn't have gone on to Hawaii. I'd have canceled the trip. I've gotten reimbursed, gotten a free first class ticket to go out later. That'd have been what the fuck I would have done. You got to profit off that shit, dude.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, people weren't getting on the flight and not. They just, I'm done. I'm not getting on planes again.
Oh,
like,
no.
That's insane.
No, I'd spend that shit to my advantage.
Well, but not just. Let's just say you can't spin it to your advantage at all. You're either going to get on this next flight to Hawaii or you're not going to Hawaii. Yeah. Go to fucking Hawaii. Yeah. What? The statistics are so low that something else is going to happen to that plane.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. That any plane you can get on, you can almost guarantee.
Unless you're flying Allegiant.
Maybe. But you can almost guarantee, even statistically, at that point, you're still way less likely to have another issue.
Well, I just meant they've had more reported mechanical and failures than any other airline over the past like 3 years combined.
But no crashes or engines blowing up in air.
It's true.
So I'm just saying, get on the fucking flight.
Right.
The people that decided not to go to Hawaii, when that plane took off with all those people that were decided to go to Hawaii, do you think they all sit there and went, God damn, I hope that plane goes down?
I don't.
Although otherwise, because if the plane goes and lands in Hawaii safely, you got to go, well, fuck, I made the wrong decision.
I don't think so. I don't think people do.
I think some of them do, because people are fucking petty.
No, I do. But I feel like most people, like, they're like, some of those people will never fly again if they can help it. Like, they're going to be fucking, like, there's going to be lawsuits for emotional distress and all that shit. Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, I knew a guy. He got in a really fucking bad car wreck. I might have told you this on this podcast. I don't know.
Maybe.
But he never drove again after that. Like,
so
his wife
stupid.
drove him everywhere because he got in this really bad wreck and he was fucking PTSD from driving.
Which is weird to me that you would get in a car with someone else being in control.
Right.
That's what
weird,
I said. Especially a woman.
At least she wasn't Asian.
Well, that's true. That's true.
No, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Which I actually had this thought earlier. We're talking about Asian stuff.
Speaking of Asian, the guy that we interviewed with earlier, his Twitter name is Podcast Newbies.
Yeah, Podcast Newbies.
I'm going to assume that's who started.
But no, I had this joke. We were talking about that because being from California and then Asia, I just thought, remember the California Raisins, the group? And I just I spun that back in my brain as the California Asians, and there's a bunch of really old Asian people, super wrinkled with sunglasses, playing the same instruments.
Asians don't get wrinkled,
right? You obviously have never watched some really good old kung fu movies.
All right, well,
I'm just saying, but I pictured the California Asians, which is a band of really old wrinkled Asian people playing oldies.
Playing oldies.
Oldies.
Did they use oldies in karate to beat a drug gang? So in first grade, God, I can't remember what year that would have been, but in first grade we did a play. It wasn't even a play, but it was like a thing for school, like in the auditorium we were watching. And my class had to do the California Raisins,
right?
And they gave us these large, very big, like fake sunglasses that. They didn't have like tinted lenses, but they had like the plastic lines going across them.
Right.
And they put garbage bags on us and cut armholes and head holes out of them so that we looked like raisins.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I'll ask my mom if she's got pictures of it somewhere, but
I'm pulling this up
in
case people don't know who the California Raisins are.
California Raisins were great. They're more than just those four, right?
Yeah. No, I think those are the base four. There were more throughout. But,
sure. They're like this. That's like the starting lineup for the Globetrotters.
Right. Yeah. So if you didn't know, these are the California Raisins.
Yes.
I'm going to full screen that because people need to know who the California Raisins were.
Look up the California Raisins.
Yeah.
What songs did they were all covers?
The Grapevine was the big one.
Of course, which was a cover, but I'm just saying,
they're actually pretty racist now that I'm looking at them.
You think so?
And if I remember the claymation and stuff, yeah.
See if you can find a California Raisins video.
Oh, there are several that pulled up.
Find one and put it on here.
Okay, well then you need to talk about other things.
I'm going to talk about other things.
God damn it.
Other things. other thing. No.
I hate doing this with you.
I know. So next news story.
This is gonna get this is gonna get pulled for copyright, but whatever.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. So NBC News.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists clone the first U.S. endangered species.
Okay.
The fuck is that shit?
What's that? It's when the California Raisins.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. You got it.
Not
Go
that
ahead.
one. Let me stop this. This is why we need Gabe here all the time. He should not be allowed ever to.
Except you don't give up. You don't relinquish rights to the keyboard and mouse.
But for shit like this, he could.
What, you would just hand the keyboard and mouse to him?
Yes. You still here? Yeah, we're still there. Cool.
Full screen that. This is a commercial.
Yeah.
This is a commercial for the.
They're back.
Yeah, California Raisins.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good shit.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have to. Alexa, play California Raisins, please.
Oh my God, this episode is dragging so bad at this point in time.
I don't think so.
It is.
Scientists have cloned the first U.S. endangered species, a black-footed ferret, duplicated
You're reading like
from
me,
the
dude.
genes of an animal that died over 30 years ago. When I looked at this earlier, I didn't catch that part, or that didn't stand out to me.
Animals wearing jeans? Shit's
Yeah.
crazy.
A black-footed ferret duplicated from the genes of an animal that died over 30 years ago. Crazy. The slinky predator is named Elizabeth Ann, born December 10 and announced Thursday, is cute as a button. But watch out. Unlike the domestic ferret foster mom who carried her into the world, she's wild at heart. A quote, "You might have been handling a black-footed ferret kit, and then they try to take your finger off the next day." U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Black-Footed Ferret Recovery Coordinator. How the hell do you get that job title? U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Black-Footed Ferret Recovery Coordinator.
Now, didn't
Peter
they just say
Gober
that was an extinct animal?
said
So how does he still have a job? Did he get reinstated?
Endangered species, it says, not an extinct.
Oh, endangered. Excuse me.
Yes. She's holding her own, Pete Gober said. Gober. Elizabeth Ann was born and is being born or cloned. How's the born thing work with cloning?
It's blown.
Blown?
They're blown.
All right. Elizabeth Ann was cloned and is being raised at a Fish and Wildlife Service black-footed ferret breeding facility in Fort Collins, Colorado. She's a genetic copy of a ferret named Willa, who died in 1988, and whose remains were frozen in the early days of DNA technology. How the hell are we freezing black-footed ferrets and we're not freezing like Michael Jackson?
Because people have ethical issues with that shit.
Or Bill Cosby. Imagine cloning Bill Cosby and he grows up, the genius comic that Bill Cosby really was, and you're like, oh my God, we really have the Bill Cosby we deserve. And then you find out 30 years later, he's finger blasting people passed out in his hotel room again. Like, God damn it, we didn't learn the first time.
Right?
Oh God.
Oh, what if you could splice the genes of Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby?
And he just drugs and finger blasts kids, but not boys.
But was funny and made great music. Forget the other stuff.
Camille. Oh my God. Let's see here. Cloning eventually could bring back extinct species such as the passenger pigeon. That's one we need to bring back.
Absolutely.
For now, the technique holds promise for helping endangered species, including a Mongolian wild horse that was cloned and last summer born at a Texas facility. Biotechnology and genomic data can really make a difference on the ground with conservation efforts, said Ben Novak, lead scientist and Revive and Restore. Yeah, I don't care about black-footed ferrets.
No.
Cloning. How you feel about cloning?
I don't give a fuck about it.
It's kind of cool though that you can clone somebody.
It's cool that you can clone shit, but
right.
I don't know. Like they haven't cloned a person yet. I'll be impressed when they clone a person or a fucking dinosaur. That's when I'll be like, okay, that's fucking sweet.
Okay.
Right now, I don't give a shit. You clone a pig, ferret, what the fuck ever. Nobody cares about those things. I get they're experimenting, but you know there are people that have been cloned. I guarantee fucking to you.
You think so?
Yeah.
Betty White. How else does she live this long?
Cloris Leachman.
What if when you
Always.
cloned somebody, you came out looking like they did at the time you took their genes?
That would be awesome.
That would be insane. Like a little baby, 93-year-old Betty White. Oh my God.
No, I think cloning's going. I guarantee you, because whatever you see for the most part in civilian science, pushing the boundaries, whatever, like elements of that technology have existed for fucking ever in the military, or well, I should say in the black military sector, not in the black ops, not the common whatever. But the shit goes on.
Okay. I thought you were saying that the military practiced that on black people.
They did.
Well,
not say that specifically, but in a lot of other things. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
No, I meant as far as black ops and shit like that. There's all that stuff has existed for a very, very long time. But
sure.
Anyway, I'm glad we're I'm so knowledgeable on so many things.
Yeah. All right. I got 2 more stories for you.
Okay.
Mr. Potato Head drops the mystery.
I saw that. They went up fucking gender neutral.
Created confusion Thursday when it announced that it would drop the Mr. from the brand's name in order to be more inclusive, so all could feel welcome in the Potato Head world.
Yep.
It also said it would sell a new playset this fall with the Mr. and Mrs. designations that will let kids create their own type of potato families, including 2 moms or 2 dads.
Yeah.
But in a tweet that
you could do that anyway. You could fucking put fucking eyeballs where his butthole should be because it's a fucking potato.
Yeah, you could have drag Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
In a tweet later that afternoon, Hasbro clarified that while the brand is changing, the actual Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head characters will still live on and be sold in stores. In a picture posted on Twitter, the Mr. and Mrs. names are less prominently displayed at the bottom of the box instead of the top. While it was announced today that the Potato Head brand name and logo are dropping the Mr., I am proud to... Somebody really had a typo in this article. I am proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head aren't going anywhere and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. The company tweeted, okay, I get it now. That was a bad joke. I am proud to confirm that Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bad joke. Yeah. They're looking to broaden the franchise. I think they're just looking to sell more potatoes by seeming inclusive.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit, really. And those companies about any of that.
No, yeah. I thought you were saying like the consumer doesn't give a shit. Like,
no,
absolutely.
No.
They'll absolutely gain some stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, I saw that I read that and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But I'm at the point
GLAAD and LGBT, the GLAAD applauded the more inclusive potato playset.
Right. But what gets me, right, is I'm at the point now, we're at the point where it's kind of like people being surprised by Donald Trump. Like when he was in office, I can't believe he would say that. I'm like, really, at this point, you can't believe that shit would come out of his mouth.
Right.
And I feel like that with any of these types of news stories I hear that pop up, I'm never like, that's fucking crazy. I'm like, yeah, okay. That sounds about right.
Right. It's crazy that anybody feels like that it's fine or okay to say some shit like that, but are you really surprised that it came from that person?
Right. And see, my thing is, because what I'm waiting on, because there's got to be a line somewhere that you draw. Like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit any fucking more, right? There has to be that line somewhere at some point. And maybe it just gets moved in small enough increments that you never hit it because you keep adjusting.
That's it. That's exactly what I was going to say. The loudest people that complain about people crossing the line are consistently moving that line.
No. What I mean as far as like at what point for you, like, I have no problem if somebody wants to be called they, them, Z, Z, whatever the fuck it is. That's fine. I'll, as a human being,
as long as you're not an asshole to me, I'm fine.
Right, exactly. But at what point do you say, okay, I think that this is stupid and I'm not doing it anymore? Like, because at some point, the way things are going, it's going to become, and there's already been a few instances of to one degree or another, not widespread by any means, but there's going to come a point if things keep going the direction they're going, that it's going to be illegal to use an incorrect gender pronoun.
Yep.
And so, like, at what point do you say, fuck it?
I think we're past that point.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, you as an individual, like
sure.
You as far as saying that respectful, not to saying like enough is enough. Like, I don't agree with this, or I do agree with this, whatever. And taking a stand on one particular thing that may or may not put you in jail. Like, how long do you play that game?
I mean, there was some fallout at the University of Toronto several years ago where psychology professor Jordan Peterson stood up against. I don't understand that, but I'm just saying, like, that point has come and gone where someone should have stood up and said,
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about for you personally.
Sure. I
what,
think
what gets you to that point? Like, where is that line in the sand is what I'm asking for you. Like, where do you think that would be?
I don't know. I'm like the Senate when it came to porn and Larry Flint. I'll know it when I see it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where that. Like I said, I'll call you anything you want as long as you're a respectful person.
Well, that was just an example. That can be for anything.
Oh, for anything, yeah, absolutely.
And I've thought about this a lot because I used to be, when I was younger, very idealistic. But between my detachment and then my inflated sense of justice, I was very hardcore on certain things. And now I'm like, because I've realized that's how I am and my morals are flexible enough, I'm like, I don't think I have that point unless it's forcing me to do something I don't want to do. At that point, I don't care what the consequences are. Like, I'm not doing it. Fuck you. But I realize it's a very selfish pocket for me. Like, I don't have enough like grandiose standards or ideals that I'm going to stand upon to be like, oh, nothing. You say I have to call you they. Fuck that. I'll go to jail before fuck that. I'll call you. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There are very, very few things I could think of that would be like, nope, I don't care what the consequences are. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand my ground. I don't see that. I'm too really? Morally flexible.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the exception
I'm not morally flexible, but I will absolutely do I will absolutely abandon. I shouldn't say abandon my morals, but go against my morals depending on what the benefit is for me.
Yeah. See, I'm 100% because what we talked about.
Well, you say you're more morally flexible. What I took that to mean, and maybe that's not how you meant it, was that you're saying like you will change your morals.
Yeah, well, it's not even changing them. It's just like I don't have them to begin with. Like I will correlate them to whatever they need. We talked about that the other week. Like I feel like it's a very relative thing. Like I have morals, obviously. Like I try to instill in my kids what should be the overall, right and wrong thing for society. But as far as me personally, like it's right and wrong is entirely based on willing to deal with the consequences between what is socially acceptable and what isn't. Like that's what institutes your morality. But regardless,
irregardless.
Yeah, there aren't many things that we've said regardless a lot on this fucking episode.
Regardless.
But but I don't know. I don't feel like I have too many things. I think unless I felt like, again, it was forcing me to do something I didn't want to do.
Sure.
Or if it was going to negatively affect one of my kids or some shit, then I'd be a little different there. But as far as me personally, like there's not many things I'd be like, I'm not standing for this.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, again, it goes back to how it affects me. But I think that there are probably some things that I would maybe stand up against, but I don't know that I would then go out of my way to defy those things. Like if I do in my regular life, fine. But but I do think that there are things I think, I think you should be free of legal action taken upon you as far as like from the government, that is, for anything you say, as long as whatever you're saying, the age-old example of running into a movie theater and yelling fire, you absolutely should get into some trouble for that. But if I misgender someone or whatever, there should be no legal recourse for that. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing here? I mean, but anyway,
we're all trying not to kill ourselves. That's really what
I don't think we're trying not to kill ourselves anymore.
I mean, I actively have been trying to kill myself for fucking 40 years now.
Suck at it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm all in the long play. All about the long play.
Well, speaking of killing yourself or someone, and probably could get away with it. Did you know that you can poison someone with Brazil nuts?
Yeah.
You did know that? What is it about Brazil nuts that kills you?
I don't know.
It's the selenium.
Is it selenium? Nice.
You're only recommended to have a few Brazil nuts a day.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I've read that. I never read enough to put why, but it's kind of like apple seeds. You have enough of that shit. I mean, it's more potent than that. For sure.
Yeah. Well, like my wife and I found out about it because her selenium is low, and she got to looking up how can you naturally get in selenium, and it was Brazil nuts. And then she got to looking and was like, oh, you can have selenium poisoning from this. And like, you could absolutely just start crushing up Brazil nuts and putting it in your spouse's food and kill them. What doctor can you think of that's ever going to look for selenium poisoning for someone? Okay. All right. Minus that absolutely real doctor.
Huxtable.
No, he's not. He's busy checking out vaginas. He was a gyno.
Oh, that's right.
He was a gyno,
which is really funny if you
it's
think about it.
very funny. Down in his basement, he is a gynecologist in his basement.
Yeah.
Yes. So, never saw any patients though. Never saw any patients that I recall.
Right.
They're all sleeping somewhere. No, yeah, it's selenium. Anyway, I have one more news article.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, and I saved the best for last.
Okay.
From BuzzFeed.
It doesn't. Jesus Christ.
No, I got this just for you. Millennials are roasting the crap out of Gen Z, and it's an absolute pleasure to see. It says. Let's see here. So I'm sure you've heard all about how Gen Z suddenly decided millennials are no longer cool. Apparently, our skinny jeans, side parts, and constant use of the crying, laughing emoji are so yesterday. But we're not giving in to this foolishness. Millennials around the world are putting Gen Z in their place and reminding them what's really cool. So we've rounded up all the best tweets for your millennial pleasure.
I hate.
I know you
God
do.
damn it.
This is like what you just tried to accomplish with all this vodka tonight with me, except I'm being successful.
I know. I know.
Let's see here. So this one's a photo from, I guess this is Chronicles Narc. It says, me when Gen Z tries to tell me which emojis you can or cannot use. And it's a line that says, do not cite the deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written. Reading a lot about how Gen Z hates millennials for our dumb side parts, as if middle parts were not a key part of our millennial heritage. And there's two popular TV show characters, unless they went somewhere.
Yeah, you just swiped. Yeah.
JTT, and I don't remember the other guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gen Z think.
Hold on. So there's an issue with side parts now?
Evidently, Gen Z thinks side parts are dumb.
So how do they part, or do they not? It's just it's an
I don't know that they
anti-parter generation.
I don't think it's anti-parter. I think all parts are welcome.
Yeah.
I think, I don't. Whatever. I'm a trans side parter because I used to part middle. Now I part side.
Yeah. I don't part.
Right. Let's see here. Gen Z think they're so much smarter than their parents for not falling for Facebook conspiracy theories, only to end up falling for TikTok conspiracy theories instead.
You know what's funny as shit about all this though is like this is becoming a thing now, and it was just a few years ago. There was like, man, the Gen Xers, they just don't understand the bashing on millennials. It's fucking stupid.
Well, only a few years ago we were considered Gen X.
Yeah, I know.
All these youths trying to cancel skinny jeans clearly never experienced this trauma. This drama. You're not gonna be. It's the whole wide leg like Jinko type thing. How they just soak water up the bottom of it. Like no wonder we all went to skinny jeans. Gen Z doesn't using the crying laughing emoji because their friends aren't fucking funny.
I'll give them fucking that. That's probably one of the best tweets I've heard in a while.
Yeah. You can take my skinny jeans for my cold, dead millennial legs. I have zero recollection of millennials ever telling Gen X what to wear. Like, I don't know the first thing about Gen X. Why is Gen Z so obsessed with the millennials? I know, and I'm so glad you hate it. That's another skinny jeans. You know who wore middle parts? My parents' generation. Ditto mom jeans. In your effort to look cool, you are emulating boomers. Let that sink in.
Oh, so middle parts are coming back then.
No. Gen Z is making fun of our generation because we had side parts.
Okay.
And this person says, you know who wore middle parts? My parents' generation. Ditto on the mom jeans. In your effort to look cool, you're emulating boomers. Let that sink in.
So that's what I'm saying is so they're
middle parts are coming back. Yes,
yeah, that's what I meant.
Is that what you said? I'm sorry, misunderstood you. Let's see here.
The mom jeans thing coming back blew me away. I'm like, what the fuck? We came such a long way, and now we're just all it's all going.
This person says, just respond to anything they have to say with cursive writing and confuse the shit out of them.
Yeah.
As a millennial, I don't post videos on TikTok because being bullied by Gen Z is already part of my job description.
Right.
If Gen Z hates millennials now, just wait until they try to get promoted to our jobs, but we're too broke to retire. So someone says, how much y'all want to bet that this article is made by a random ass trying to make us fight? Please, can we stop having generation versus generation? And then somebody responded, I've seen the TikToks though. Heartbroken emoji. These Gen Z have one thing, and that is the audacity. I don't get that. Boomers, you look like a lost child. Gen Z, parts hair on the side. You look like a lost adult. Millennial ass.
Yeah.
Why does TikTok Gen Z hate side parts? My hair grows this way. I'm not destroying my hair with overheating it on a daily basis just because some 19-year-olds on a video app said side parts make you look old. There's a really whole lot of shit about side parts.
Yeah. I feel like we're just wasting time at this point.
I feel like I'm loving that this is wasting your time.
I feel like I'm about to end this broadcast.
Today I learned that parting my hair to the side bugs my Gen Z students. So naturally, I'm switching to a deep side part next week. Let's see if there's anything else here. Gen Z is days away from discovering zigzag middle parts. All right.
I think that's good for the night.
I disagree.
Oh, you do? Because we're over 2 hours at this point.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
No, I don't. What? Tell me.
Nothing.
Inform me.
No, I said, we're just stretching here.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm stretching. I feel like I'm doing what I came to do.
Oh yeah.
I did.
All right. Well, I
came to bring. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at B3F Podcast and on Instagram at B3F_podcast. Send us your questions or comments to bfff.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen to the show. And as always, thanks for listening.